anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
The Tuesday edition, the farewell edition to Tausch, just temporarily. He's not going to be on for a little while. He's on assignment. He'll be back, hopefully. Edition. We're not really going to talk about Aaron Rodgers, are we? Edition. And you're hosting from where now? Edition. Of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, sometimes, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studio. And in a truly undisclosed location, because we do not have video of his location, but we got lots of pictures. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you? Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am downtown Madison. We're doing a little speaking meet and greety type conference-y deal this morning. And so I will be out for somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the questions and answers. So that's where I'm at this morning. Beautiful vista. I'm overlooking the lake, if that gives you any... Where do you think I am?
I think you. No, I'm not going to say. I don't want. I don't want people rushing to the building.
But there's a lot of folks speaking. The program started, I think, at 8:30, and I asked to go as late as possible. So here we are, and that's what. Whatever I can do to help.
What are you speaking?
The governor's speaking like an hour before. I think we kind of based everything around his schedule, and then everybody else was adjusting.
You going to talk about that pickleball game?
Oh, the matchup.
My knee's not been good.
So now we can't play the governor and his wife?
Come on, you can take the governor.
Listen, first off, I've seen Jason play. I'd probably have to bring Jesse with me. No offense, Jason.
Total offense. We played 3 points.
Wow.
The way you're talking, I think Jason and I could take you and the governor at this point.
That's fair.
Maybe. I'm telling you, I thought I had kind of turned the corner, and now the corner kind of slapped me back in the face. But it still found a way to beat Blaze and Vogues this morning at the Pack.
Must have been your partner who carried you.
My partner was very good today. Yes, I would agree.
All right. Well, I am offended since I'm playing a lot more tennis now. I feel like I'm not quite the racket enthusiast you are, but I'm hitting a lot of balls.
Sure. Okay,
so
good.
I am offended. I look forward to my Pickler membership so I can start showing you how good I am.
Yeah, we told you you're welcome anytime over there.
I appreciate that.
It's over on Holmgren. You guys go over there whenever you want. You're good.
It is on Holmgren Way, and then you can go get lunch. There's a lot of restaurants nearby. None of them serve ice cream, as far as I know, so I can't say who
and
they
there's
are.
there's also a workout place, so you could go and do a heavy workout before you went and played pickleball. Yeah, so there's all kinds of options over there.
All right, last question on your activity this morning.
Sure.
What are you speaking about?
That's a great question, because typically I have two or three. I'm a big teamwork guy, as you know, kind of how any individual success typically comes from team success and vice versa. That is usually my modus operandi. But what I've learned, you want to tell stories. You want people to have some. So I like to have one or two kind of points that you really pound home, and then tell stories. So I usually tell my Reggie White story, my Barry Alvarez story, any Favre stories, any Rodgers stories. That typically is what moves the needle. So this is more of a Q&A. It was kind of vaguely. So I'm going. Normally I go into these things knowing exactly what I'm going to do. This is more fluid than what I'm used to. So I'll give you feedback when I get back how that goes.
Well, we look forward to an update on the Q&A. Let
me ask you this: if you were in the audience and you got to ask the first question to me, what would you ask me?
How thankful are you that Jason Wilde chose you, of all the people on the planet, to do a radio show with?
That's a great question, Jason.
I would say that's complicated. That's how I would answer that.
And then people would laugh, and then you'd be off to a good start. See? Set you up.
There you go.
It's the kind of teammate I am, because
great.
the team succeeds. That leads to individual success, as I've learned from your many speeches.
Mr. Tauscher, could you please stop making predictions about the Badgers men's basketball team?
That's not a question. That's a request.
Yeah,
that's a question.
No, I guess you never want to ask a yes or no, but yeah. No, I'm not going to do that, Jesse. I will continue to make bold predictions and sometimes have to backtrack and sometimes have to admit I'm wrong. And then other times just, most of the time say, Tausch, I agree with Tausch. He was right.
Yeah, well, that's why we've got the T-shirts. So my actual question would be, what was the toughest? You seem very well adjusted. You obviously had a great NFL career. What was the toughest lesson that you had to learn during your NFL playing career? The most difficult lesson? Because you got your head screwed on straight.
Yeah,
you know what you're doing.
The business of sports is really cutthroat and hard. And I think it takes a while for you to figure that out. That probably, seeing how, just cutthroat everything is and adjusting to that, where you can kind of come in all wide-eyed, bushy-tailed and thinking this is a game and it's fun, and all of those things can be true, but that's not the overriding part, how businessy this sport in this kind of world is. That's probably the thing that I would say, make sure, and this goes a little bit against that speech, the principles of it, but you have to look out for yourself when it comes to that side. But then once that side's done, you have to recalibrate and make sure it's about the team and the role that you're asked to do it to the best of your abilities. There's no whining, there's no crying, and there's no complaining once you sign on and sign up for what you're doing. And that's a lesson that you have to learn.
Quick follow-up, Mr. Tauscher. Thanks again for doing this, and we really enjoyed you speaking, and we certainly enjoyed what the governor had to say. But how was that lesson taught to you? Because you came in, I read every story that Jason Wilde wrote about you in the State Journal, and
I heard the State Journal is a cutthroat business. I heard it's really cutthroat.
There's some truth to that for sure. But you came in as this great story, the local boy from Auburndale and with the University of Wisconsin, and now here he gets drafted by the Packers, and then he's starting as a rookie, 7th-round pick. What was it that taught you the cutthroat nature of the game?
Seeing guys get cut and selling their furniture 2 days after training camp. the constant rotation of the back end of a roster, families moving, coaches getting let go. You just continue to see it, and you kind of were thinking it's not going to affect you until it does. And you have some of your best buddies that you think you're going to play with for 10 years, and the next thing you know, they're on the first ship smoking out of town. So that it happens quickly. You see the veterans that, the Frank, and when they're not, it's kind of it's a wake-up call very quickly that you better produce or you're going to be gone.
Well, we look forward to hearing about your speech. I'm sure it'll get rave reviews. Glad we could warm you up a little bit on the show before you depart for that. And if I'm reading the rundown correctly, I know you don't look at the rundown, but I do. Are we having a special guest while Tausch is gone?
That's what it looks like. I did look at the rundown today.
And you're once again not telling us who it is?
It's a mystery.
It was a raging success the last time he did it. So normally I would fight him on this and say we need to know, but I trust him. He crushed the last one, and I'm not going to be there, so it's not going to really affect me. No, I'm going to care, but it's not going to really.
You might be really bummed depending on who it is.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. If it's
Matt LaFleur, I'll be bummed.
If it's Matt LaFleur, I'll be bummed. How's that?
It is not Matt LaFleur.
That's too bad.
As with last time, if you check my tweet that we shared from the Wilde and Tausch Twitter feed this morning, there are a couple of clues. I love a good clue. There's some clues in the tweet that you can use to try and guess who our mystery guest is, scheduled to appear at 10:30 today.
Okay, well, it's a dancing Bucky Badger. For those of you that want to decode Jesse's clever tweet, we have another surprise special guest scheduled to appear at 10:30 a.m. today on Wilde and Tausch. Any guesses who it might be? You might have to think outside the box to guess it correctly.
Okay.
So clearly outside the box.
Good
and
tease.
The dancing Bucky Badger gif are the hints. We will work to discern that as we move forward. I will say this. I've now been surprised twice on our airwaves. First by the Warren Moon surprise guest, which was great, although the clue was terrible, and it was nothing that gave us any clue that it was going to be Warren Moon. I just happened to guess it randomly. Secondly, they surprised me on KBN because I like to give Brad Nortman a hard time because he always wants to be my number one ranked favorite punter. And I was recently on their show, and I put him behind Sammy Veit, who was the punter when I was at Wisconsin. And some of his buddies heard it, and it got back to Sammy. And then behind Tim Masthay, who's number one on my list. And KBN surprised me with a surprise appearance from Tim Masthay. So I'm assuming it's not Tim Masthay, although we could just hire him to do appearances on a regular basis.
That would be
he's very good.
That would be a big surprise, though, since you would be probably the least person you'd expect.
He would be, right after Warren Moon. So we will all find out together except for Tausch, because he'll be addressing the throng at his undisclosed location, eager to hear his words of wisdom. Speaking of words of wisdom, today is Tuesday the 18th. Do we still have those beautiful 6 years when you can go from being a wide-eyed rookie who loves the story of a local boy making good to finding out how cutthroat the NFL is?
No, that deal is done. But we talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service that you get from Pella. But talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do. And you always want to have people come out to work on your home, put windows and doors in, that love and care about their product. Pella does that. Pella's team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the sale. Right now, take advantage of windows as low as $22 per month. Nick Lucci, you got any other 22s for me?
Ooh.
Christian Yelich.
Yelly. Jason.
Pat Lee?
at Listache. $22 per month and as low as $89 per month for doors. James Jones. Jesse?
I'm out.
Mark Shimura.
Jason? Chewy, come on. Jesse, give some effort. You don't need certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends March 31st. Well, 89 is a pretty easy number to have more than
Chipotle Ben.
Big dog.
Chipotle Ben. Yeah. $89 for a door. What a deal. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
The rundown of 22s since Nick Lucci. Marquand Manuel, Pat Lee, got that one.
Pat Lee, you nailed it.
Jerron McMillan, Khalil Bell, Aaron Ripkowski, he was fun.
Rip. Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Darius Jackson, I don't know who that is.
Don't know, don't remember.
Capri Bibbs, don't really remember him either.
The Bibbinator.
Dexter Williams.
Dexter.
Shamar John Charles, that was going to be the next one I threw out there. And the current 22 is Robert Rochelle the musical. So there you have it.
Are we missing? What other 89s are we missing? Chewy and James Jones obviously left a big mark. Chipotle Ben.
Mercedes
Lewis, yeah.
Big dog.
So lots of great Packers have worn 89. Not quite as many have worn number 22, but maybe that'll change.
Mark Lee was the Packer Hall of Famer. He was 22.
Yeah, he was. Well done.
Okay. Thank you.
Jared Cook wore 89, didn't he?
Cookie.
It's a tight end number, basically, right? Richard Rodgers, wasn't he 89?
JJ? No, I don't think he was 89.
I think Richard
I think he was
Rodgers
82.
Maybe he was both. Maybe he changed numbers. Your guy Fergie, Robert Ferguson, he wore 89, right?
Yeah.
All right, this has been fun, but we're squandering the time we have with you before you leave. Anonymous texter. Were they actually anonymous?
Wishing to remain anonymous.
Or are you protecting their identity?
Protecting the identity is what's a little witsec on the text line here. Listens more.
I like it. My husband used to do security for the governor's wife, and she's a baller. She plays a lot of pickleball. All right, well, Tausch and the governor can play Jesse and I.
We ain't scared. I promise you we're not scared.
And then Jesse could play the governor's wife one-on-one since they both apparently have good game. All right.
You talking smack to Mrs. Evers?
Well, I think the anonymous texter is warning us that we better not take her lightly.
Tausch is saying bring it on. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I have no problem playing the governor and his wife.
You with your bum knee?
Yeah, even with my bum knee, I think I'll take Jesse with me, and I think we're probably in pretty good shape.
Okay, I'm not going to stand here and be slandered and insulted
well, Jason,
repeatedly.
You don't play.
Well, I need to start. I need my Pickler membership. Head over there.
Get over there and start playing.
I will. After
and then
we
do a
talk,
tryout. We're going to do a tryout with you and Jesse, and then we'll pick
tryout.
It's a cutthroat business, Jesse.
It is. Yes, it's a production world. You know that, Jesse.
Best abilities, availability, Tausch. You better watch out if you're asking for tryouts.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm the
sick
captain
burn,
of the team,
bro.
So yeah,
I'm the captain. I am the captain now. We need to get to Aaron Rodgers talk. Really? I'll keep it.
Don't
brief.
act like you're upset about it. You love it.
Hate it.
I hope that this Viking thing happens and Jesse's got to sing this song. Jesse, you promise you're going to sing it if it happens. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
No, I need a promise.
I promise.
Can you give him what the melody is?
Yeah, got to figure out what the song is. And
it's the Cats in the Cradle. Yeah, it's the Cats in the Cradle.
Obviously.
I could play it on piano and sing it along. That'd be fun.
There you go.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Complete control. Yes.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The madness is back, and so is your chance at proving your hoops knowledge. It's the ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge, presented by Cousin Subs. Fill out a bracket, earn the most points at the end of the tourney, and get a $1,000 gift card to Cousin Subs. Fill out your bracket on ESPN.com or the ESPN Tournament Challenge app. Just search ESPN Wisconsin and enter the password Cousins, all lowercase. It's the ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge, presented by Cousin Subs. They believe in better.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions. Presented by Siding Unlimited, your local window installation pros.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
We're on the Badgers.
Who would have thought after 2 seasons?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That Greg Gard would have less of a hot seat than Luke Fickell.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Dancing on the edge, about to take it too far. Just messing with my head, how I mess with your heart. If you wake up in your bed, alone in the dark, I'm sorry. Gotta leave before you love me.
All right, Jesse, you put this on the rundown. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Vikings, manna from heaven, right? That's exactly what I'm hoping happens. Can't wait for Packers, Vikings, etc. In the meantime, why are we talking about him now? Why?
I find it interesting that the free agents, the free agent frenzy that took place last week saw a couple of significant moves around the league, and then we even saw over the weekend Kirk Cousins signed a deal to go back to Atlanta, which I thought was interesting and didn't make a lot of sense if he wants some significant playing time. But there's still a couple of questions.
Well, first off, he didn't sign a deal. His deal was there, and the Falcons paid it. It wasn't like he re-signed to stay there. He was paid a bonus, which was a surprise.
Important clarification.
Just to clarify.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, that is an important clarification. I think it's interesting that Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and this quarterback carousel has come to essentially a pause in free agency, and I don't know why. Like, what's keeping Pittsburgh from signing somebody? What's keeping Aaron Rodgers from signing anywhere?
Aaron Rodgers is waiting to see if the Vikings want him or not.
Yep.
And the Steelers and the Giants have to wait for him to see. It's like a bad episode of The Bachelor. Like, he's got 3 finalists, and he's got the one that he's really in love with the idea, and he's keeping the other 2 on standby and in case the Vikings decide, you know what, I don't want to be on the show anymore. We're going to go with J.J. McCarthy. We're going to believe in young love instead of 41-year-old love. It's like the Golden Bachelor for quarterbacks between him and Russell Wilson. So I assume Russell Wilson ultimately will be the one who ends up with the Giants because the Steelers don't want him back, apparently. So the Steelers are in a holding pattern because the Vikings are in a holding pattern because they're putting Aaron Rodgers, who's really the one holding everything up. Tausch, does that sound like a pretty good description of what's happening?
Well, listening to Diana Rossini, who has been pretty much on it when it comes to the Rodgers, the Jets stuff, and I don't know if she's obviously got a good source somewhere there, even though Rodgers would disagree. Yeah, I think the storyline, I think Aaron Rodgers wanted to play for the Jets. It didn't work. The Jets decided to go in a different direction. So now I thought that he would probably think hard about retiring if the right scenario, like to me, going to play for the Giants doesn't make any sense. They're not going to win. You're going to end up, do you want to redo what you just saw with the Jets, but with less talent? Because that's where they're at. Pittsburgh makes some sense, but that's you're playing outdoors. Minnesota makes all the sense in the world because they have great wideouts. They have a good group, good coaching, a team that was close to, winning the division, having the best record in football. So they're right there. And it would finish that career arc, and he could shove it up Green Bay's keister. So when you factor all those things in, I'm guessing that's the most intriguing to him. And it tells you a lot that Minnesota is really hemming and hawing, and we don't know. They have not showed any of their cards. So obviously Aaron feels like there's a chance to have a chance to go there, or he would move along and say it's going to be Pittsburgh. The fact that there's some uncertainty makes me think Minnesota is thinking about it. And then all the reports this weekend were it's up to O'Connell. We're leaving the quarterback decision-making up to O'Connell. And then yesterday you heard that Joe Flacco is potentially that veteran that could go up to Minnesota. So it has grinded to a halt. And you have to think, the legal signing isn't even a week in. Been a lot of action. So for everybody that's saying, you got to move, and Mike Florio saying how selfish it is, this is a pretty big decision. And if Aaron Rodgers can take his time and the Giants and Steelers are not pushing, which I would, if I was them, I'd say you're either in or you're out. That would be the way you want to do it. He's not, and they're not. So probably my guess is he ends up going to Pittsburgh. That would be the guess that makes the most sense. But if Minnesota gives him that sliver, I think he runs with it and takes it. But I think Minnesota at some point is probably going to look at this and say, is this juice going to be worth the squeeze? I hope it is, because I think from a drama standpoint, storyline standpoint, and plus I think that from Green Bay standpoint, I don't think they're afraid of that. I think they were afraid of it with Favre. I don't think – are Packer fans afraid of Aaron Rodgers going to Minnesota? I don't think so.
I would be afraid of it only, and again, I don't want to tell fans how to feel, but if if they don't think J.J. McCarthy's ready, like if it's his knee.
How would they think? How would they think that he is?
Yeah, again, I don't know, but my point is if I'm Jeff Hafley, if I'm a Packers fan, I want them playing the inexperienced quarterback, right? I mean, it's great that they have all these weapons, but we saw the growing pains.
Jason, how good do you think Jeff Hafley thinks Aaron Rodgers with that Minnesota Vikings offense is going to be? Are they afraid of him?
I think if their offensive line is improved, and they obviously invested in that, and they can protect him, and you look at the weaponry that he has at his disposal. I mean, you can say Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in football now. You can say Justin Jefferson is. But beyond Justin Jefferson, they've got Jordan Addison. They've got a really good tight end in Hawkinson, who will be better this year now that he's more than a year removed from his ACL tear. I think I'm looking at that team going, I hope they start J.J. McCarthy because his growing pains will make those weapons less effective.
Jesse, are you scared as a Packer fan? Let's poll this. I don't know how you want to word it without you're going to get crushed because people are sick of Aaron Rodgers, the narrative.
But we'll post it from the show account.
Yeah, I don't think Packer fans, it's a different vibe. I think most Packer fans are looking at this and saying, yeah, Rodgers is not the Rodgers we saw in 2021, and maybe he's more 22 than he is 2021. But I do think this gives Minnesota a much better chance to win big this coming season. It's very similar to when we had the Rodgers-Favre transition where we knew Rodgers was ready. I think it feel a lot better because Rodgers played and was in the system for longer than J.J. McCarthy played a couple of preseason games. They have no idea. They have no idea how he's going to play. None. So to roll the dice with a roster that you're going all in on, and plus now they're moving money around in anticipation of something, the breadcrumbs are starting to lead you to think this is more of an option than I think all of us had thought when the regular season ended and we got into this season. I think Minnesota is looking at it and saying we have a chance to we're built. This roster is locked and loaded, and if they can get Rodgers on a 1-year, smaller deal, I think they're going to be really intrigued by that.
And I do think they would be getting a motivated player, and they would also be getting a guy.
He was as motivated as he could have possibly been last year, and it just I think that narrative.
Well, I think he's still motivated. No. I think he's still motivated, and I would also say that I think we forgot, much like we did in 2022 when he played with a broken thumb, and Brett Favre was celebrated, and everyone else looked at Rodgers and said, he's terrible. There was no grace for playing with a broken thumb on your throwing hand. I think the fact that the guy was playing after rupturing his Achilles the previous season, I think that was lost on some. I would be willing to bet that he will be he's not going to be Lamar Jackson, but I'm guessing he will be, even at the ripe old age of 41, a little more mobile than he appeared to be this past season.
I don't know, man. I think when you looked at how he moved at the end of his time in Green Bay pre-Achilles, he was getting tracked down by guys he never used to get tracked down by. You add 2 or 3 more years with an Achilles rupture, he's going to be a pocket guy. He is no longer get out of the pocket, expand, and run play. But
he's got to be able to move in the pocket, and I didn't think it looked like he did that as well as he used to. And you think
another year is going to help him with that?
I think a greater healing in his. Well, let's ask Evan Cohen what he thinks, because they clearly, I saw a graphic from them, Unsportsmanlike, spending plenty of time discussing the quarterbacks that are still available. Evan's good buddy, Tausch's good buddy, Russell Wilson, and, of course, Aaron Rodgers as well. We'll get to that after Tausch tells us about American Family Insurance.
Packer fans dreaming of that ultimate draft day experience? Well, American Family Insurance Dream Draft Sweepstakes is your chance to win a VIP trip to the NFL Draft in Green Bay just in a little over a month. Imagine this. You and a guest can score exclusive tickets, hotel accommodations, custom merchandise, and more. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You better not miss it. Head over to amfam.com/Packers to enter today. That's amfam.com/Packers. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Badgers.
Anything short of a Sweet 16 is going to be a great disappointment.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
They are as good and as ready as I've seen a Badgers team of late.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
The boys basketball state tournament is here. Find out who will take home the coveted gold ball. Join us live from the Kohl Center starting at 1:30 on Thursday and Friday for semifinal coverage. Then, starting at 10:45 on Saturday, we will have all 5 state championship games.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
We're on the Packers.
If they're not better this year,
because we're on Wisconsin sports,
there's going to be a lot of seats warming up.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't get out of this town, I just might be the one who finds.
You know what that music means? It means the Killers are coming to Summerfest, and Old T and this guy are going to go to the concert together. It is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. on Wilde and Tausch. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Jason, how you doing? I'm very excited for this mystery guest, whomever it is, in an hour. Obviously, tons of promotion, more than I've ever had joining this show for the better part of the last year. So I am very excited to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to say in 1 hour from now with you guys.
Oh, wow.
Or is it Jordan Love? Jordan Love.
Oh, that'd be good, too. Both good guesses.
Jesse booked them, whoever they are. So I don't know if
Warren
he has...
So
I think we got Warren Moon.
Is it an ESPN Madison intern?
Well, are they cleared for air?
No, they would not be. But again,
A short interview.
He doesn't follow rules, so it doesn't matter in Jesse's world. So
he's a rebel.
They
He's
call
a
me
rebel.
the hall monitor. I'm the definition of the. I'm a walking version of a rule book.
Well, I understand where you're coming from on that. Yes, you are the hall monitor. I would also say you attempt to set your own rules, do you not?
All the time, yes.
Very good.
I mean, you credit Jason and Mark if you attempt to set your own rules and then follow those rules.
It's a gamey play. It is a gamey play.
Yeah. Nice to talk to you, Taps. I know it's a day that ends in Y, so I'm surprised you are here. Anyway, go ahead.
He'll be leaving for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay.
Jason, a little while. Jeez, I think longer than that.
Okay.
Well, as much as we're just happy to have him for however long he's going to join us.
Evan, why is the quarterback carousel stopped as you were talking about?
Well, wait a minute. I got another question first.
Well, then ask him. Let's go. Let's get
Well-oiled machine over here. All right, keep going.
Well, why? Okay. Is this the first time you've been on the show? Why is the iconic photo?
Why is the quarterback here? Yeah, great addition,
No,
Jason.
it is quarterback related, and I was going to segue into the quarterback conversation, but I just saw that the iconic photo of one of the all-time GOAT quarterbacks was posted 49 minutes ago on X. It's you smiling in your number 2 burgundy jersey that I see framed in the Unsportsmanlike studios. Why did you share your photo again on social media? What's going on?
I'm glad you asked. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
The quarterback carousel, a lot of people are speculating, and I have been listed for Aaron Goldhammer, our teammate over in Cleveland, as a possibility for Brown's starting quarterback. So they put me down on that list. So I thought I'd show off some of my resume tape with that great picture of me as a quarterback back in the day.
Do we have the video of all those interceptions? Because the photo's great. But can we get that digitized and posted?
Well, you know what's funny? So I'm going to give you some context around this as it relates to your squad that you guys talk about every day, the Green Bay Packers. So I did, unfortunately, as a high school quarterback, have a game in which I threw 8 interceptions in one game. I'm not necessarily proud of that, obviously. It's not
kind
something
of are,
that I'd
though.
like to hang my hat. That's a psychological thing. We don't have enough time for it. But anyway, so for years, I thought Ryan Grant, former Packers running back, was on the team I played. And I learned recently he grew up in that town for part of his life, but did not play on that team.
Yeah,
So
Don
the
Bosco
story-
Prep is where he went.
Right. The story was never good. It was better knowing, hey, come on, I was playing against an NFL player. Well, I actually wasn't.
8 interceptions is a lot. Yeah, that's fair. Why is the carousel for quarterbacks stopped?
Well, that's a great question, Jason. I'm glad you thought about
No,
it.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's a better question before that last answer. I'm not just being honest.
You're not very nice to your friend.
Well,
Thanks for the,
is it not? I mean, if we're being serious, was it not a better question 5 minutes ago? It was.
The idea. Okay, wait a minute. Let me ask you. See, you're so spoiled in this regard, Tausch.
Spoiled.
Anyone listen? Yeah, you listen to what I'm about to say. I guarantee you, the Wilde and Tausch audience can. Well, what day is it? It's Tuesday, so maybe they can't call in.
Yeah,
but
no
maybe
calls,
they can
no.
participate. They can participate somehow. Every single failed high school athlete like myself, if they ever played against a college or pro player, they always tell the story about it. Like, oh, I played against this guy.
Yeah, but you didn't play against him. Cool. He wasn't on the team.
I understand.
Do you?
But I thought for years I did. Well, I played against Jimmy Kennedy, who was a top 15 pick out of Penn State.
Okay,
I did play against him.
I'm sure that was a tough matchup for him.
I'm sure you were a tough matchup for him, too.
Oh, burn.
I'm telling you, people will tweet in or call in if you ask them this. Who did you play against in high school or growing up that made it?
All right, Jesse, put that up on
the
the
story.
Facebook page deal. All right, go ahead, Jess. That's a good idea, Evan. Thanks for the tip.
The Facebook page deal. I got it, yeah.
Whenever he says put it on the Facebook page, it means he doesn't care at all about it. Just so you know.
That's fair.
I called Tausch this week on something. I was like, oh, I got an idea for something. I gave him the idea. Deadpan, he goes, next time you call me, can you have a good idea? And hung up.
No, I actually said, why don't you text me those ideas, is what I said.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
But you
all right,
did
so
hang up
can you
Okay,
please
the
tell
QB
us why the
carousel.
carousel?
QB carousel.
Thank you. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So this was a big topic of conversation this morning because we were all in on Geno Smith and Sam Darnold, and then, all right, now we're ready. Let's go to the two state of Wisconsin guys that we're most tied to, and Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Where are they going to go? And it just stopped. And the answer, seemingly by everyone, is Aaron Rodgers. So for all the people, and our show did this, that said Rodgers would not have a market, not only does he have a market, he's holding up the entirety of the market, which begs a lot of questions, right? Is he going to play? Does Minnesota actually want him? Has Pittsburgh hit a new low in waiting for this version of Aaron Rodgers? I don't believe Aaron Rodgers has any interest in playing for the Steelers at
Doesn't seem
all.
Doesn't seem
I
that
think
way.
he wants to play. I think there's three options for him. I think he wants to play for the Vikings if he plays. I think he would consider retirement, and I think he wants an excuse to play for the Giants because that would mean Vikings don't want him. Russ just went back to the Steelers, and then he doesn't have to move, and he's still in charge of the team.
Yeah, but
winning does not seem like the preference.
I was just gonna say he has no chance to win there. The Giants, they're
He has
tanking.
no chance to win with the Jets. He had no
Well,
chance
that's
with
not
the Jets.
what
I don't believe winning.
Whoa. Your own co-host had him as the MVP, and everybody was thinking they were a playoff team.
Yeah,
with
she
the
made
Jets.
a huge mistake on that.
Yeah, well, but
That was a bad
they
pick.
act like you don't think people had an idea that they could win with him last year. That's defying
You
facts.
think
of
Aaron
what people-
Rodgers? You think Aaron Rodgers chose a team for winning or control?
Both. If he didn't think he could win there and he didn't have any say, he would not have went there. It wasn't just control. He goes to the Giants. Then I would agree. It's all about control and anything else. Pittsburgh is interesting, but if he was really, I guess the question is he just caught up and hoping that Minnesota will take him? And if he doesn't, then he would go to Pittsburgh. Or I don't know any good explanation
I think he's going
other
to
than
retire. I don't
Okay.
think he wants to be coached. I don't think he wants to be coached hard and part of the team. And you're not going to be above Mike Tomlin. You're not going to be above the team. I think what Minnesota gives him is an opportunity to win. And I think the coach is maybe the kindest coach that the NFL has ever seen. And that's rare, right? Kevin O'Connell just feels like, and I'm sure behind closed doors he will rip your head off if he needs to rip your head off, right? But he comes off as kind, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to be coached in a way that is like the way that Mike Tomlin probably coaches, if I had to guess. I will tell you, and I'm sure, Jesse, you cut this audio up and have played it for Jason and Mark during the show in the audience.
Yeah, I'm sure
But,
he has.
Shefty this morning with us had really interesting takes about Rodgers to Minnesota, a long shot, but not no shot. And I asked him, and I said, listen, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you desperately want to go to Minnesota, if I were him, I would say, made enough money, that's where I want to go. I'll play for the league minimum. And Shefty had a very interesting statement. He said he does not believe money will hold up his decision. Money is not going to dictate where he goes. Because it seems to me that what the Packers have to worry about in playing against Minnesota is they have built their team this offseason as if they're going to have a rookie scale contract. What at the quarterback position? They may have two of them if Rodgers says, "I'll take nothing."
Yeah, and I asked this. I don't know if Jesse has put this up on Twitter/X yet, but if Rodgers is the quarterback for the Vikings, should Packer fans fear that team? What's your answer?
I don't think so. But there has to be the stigma in general about the way they played against the division last year. I would ask you this in return. In your mind, who is a better quarterback right now, Sam Darnold or Aaron Rodgers?
Ooh. Well, I have to go off of last year. Sam Darnold played better last year than Aaron Rodgers did.
Okay, so the twist on that, and this is, I think, what you're getting at, Tausch, is who's a better quarterback right now, specifically against the Packers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Right. So that your thought then becomes he will be a madman 2 weeks a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just telling Jason was just talking about this revenge and scorched earth. Been hearing that.
I didn't
for
say
a couple
any
of
of
years.
those things.
I
I just said he'd be motivated because I think he's.
He just said something
weird
else. He just said something else,
thing.
and now he's backtracking because he doesn't want to be soundgraphed, which is fine. But in essence, he was saying this whole John Wick thing and the whole deal. That's Rodgers.
These are none of the things I said.
Did you watch Running Point on Netflix?
No.
Oh, it's a great well, not great show.
Diplomat. Let me tell you something. If you want Diplomat as the show, you need to start watching.
That's kind of boring.
Fantastic. No, it's not boring.
What about the hotel movie?
That's not. Well, it's not bad. That's goofy.
Everyone's
I'm a
talking
couple
about that
episodes back.
show on Hulu with the guy from
Paradise.
This Is Us.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's Running Point.
All right, I'm out.
No,
Is that a point
it's
card
really
show?
good.
Running Point,
No,
isn't
it's
that with
about-
Keanu Reeves? Surfing?
No,
isn't
it's
that what
Kate
that is?
Hudson. It's Kate Hudson as Jeannie Buss.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I heard it's good.
The only reason I brought that up is because there's a John Wick theme at the end, and I know John Wick has been a big theme on this show. I'm with Willie.
Apparently.
I've never seen any of them. I thought there was a whole thing with you and Bakhtiari about John Wick.
There
years
was,
ago.
yeah.
There was, yeah.
It was the
Mhm.
Scorched Earth tour that Rodgers was on that
No.
Jason thought
All right.
he was on, and then he backtracked.
Could you just ask your question before you're late for your speech?
I don't have any. I don't have a question. You finish up here. I'm questioned out.
Wow.
You're questioned out of an interview.
Well, I mean,
while
at
the
some point,
interview
Jason's got
subject
to
is still on the phone.
jump in. Did Wisconsin get screwed in not being able to play in Milwaukee?
I think losing the Big Ten championship game probably helped them screw themselves. Did they not?
No, losing to Penn State at
Michigan
home on
still got a
Senior
5
Day
seed and they
screwed
won
them.
it. Come on, yeah.
If
No.
they won against Michigan, what's their seeding and where are they playing?
They're still a 3 seed. It's just a matter of if it's instead of Denver, would it have been Milwaukee? I don't know the answer to that, but I don't understand. That was kind of the motivation. The Badgers put together a great season, Ken Pom ranking, all that stuff, and then they still have to go out to Denver and play on a Thursday after playing a 4-game stretch. It's just it defies. It's just dumb. It's dumb.
Can I give you a
I don't love
stat about the tournament? I'll give you a stat that I did not
Yeah,
realize
stat
until the
it
other
up.
day. Okay.
Okay.
For each of the last 15 or 16 years, I want to say, something, double-digit years, whatever it is,
Okay.
in a row, a 3 seed has reached the Final Four.
Is that right? You got
No, I just
Wisconsin
made that
going?
up. Yes, it's right.
Wow.
Well, I'm not saying that.
Well,
What I
you
am
kinda
saying is, I
Yeah.
would never have thought to put them in the Final Four. And then you look at the other 3 seeds and you look at their brackets. And this is coming from somebody who's watched one half of college basketball all year, so I know. You look at the other 3 seeds and you look at their brackets and you're like, maybe Wisconsin can be that 3 seed this year. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll join that club.
Isn't it wild to think that the last 2 full-time head coaches Well, maybe 2 of the last 3. Because was Soderbergh ever the full-time head coach? Now I forget.
Yes, for a year. Yes.
I think he was an interim.
Okay. So 2 of the last 3 full-time head coaches have been to the Final Four. Isn't that it's just wild for me to think, because I've had this conversation with Jim, Matt, and Molly on ESPN Madison about what are we? Are we a football school, a basketball school? How do we get labeled in that regard?
Mm-hmm.
And we're better recently in basketball than we are in football. But Rutledge had a great point. He goes, we're just a women's, not just in a bad way, we're in a good way, we're a women's sports school. That's what we're best at, volleyball and other women's sports. But if you do the comp, we've had insane success in men's basketball in comparison to football recently.
And in comparison to women's basketball, which has been a real problem for a really long time now. Evan, I saw this from our buddy Mark Silverman, Sylvie as we like to call him, of Waddle and Sylvie on ESPN Chicago. It is the 30th...
Have you had your meal yet, by the way? Have you had the meal yet?
We have not. No, we have not had a meal yet.
All right.
But, hopefully when he comes up for the draft, I'll take him to my favorite pizzeria. It is the 30th anniversary of Michael Jordan returning to the NBA after his sabbatical, his baseball, whatever you want to call that. And Sylvie was there covering it as a young radio sports reporter. It was one of his first assignments.
Unreal.
It is absolutely crazy. I'm curious, of all the cool stuff that you've gotten to do in your career, including Unsportsmanlike, is there because he calls it kind of the pinch me moment for him. What was your pinch me moment?
It was a dinner one night. It was me, Tausch, and Steve Walsh in Florida. And really, I thought that was the pinnacle of my
And Russell
career.
Wilson walked by.
No. Okay, I'm going to tell a story. It's going to be Tausch is going to get mad because it's going to be along the Ryan Grant mode here. The pinch me moment of my career was 2002. I was a student at the University of Wisconsin. Wisconsin was playing in the NCAA tournament in Washington, D.C. They played St. John's in the first round. They played Maryland in the second round. Maryland won the championship that year. The day of the game against Maryland, I was an intern in the broadcast booth. Matt LePay comes up to me, this is a true story, and says, I'm sick as could be, my voice is shot, you're going to have to do the game. And I said, do what game? He goes, I already cleared it with everyone, you're going to do the play-by-play tonight of Wisconsin-Maryland NCAA tournament. I said, what the hell are you talking about? I do your stats and get you water. You can't put me on the air for this. And he goes, you're going to be fine. Everyone thinks you're going to be okay with this. And I said, well, how long have you been sick? He goes, the last couple of days. I said, why didn't you tell me last night? And he said, I knew you would not sleep and you'd be up all night prepping for this. Game time rolls around. I'm doing charts. I'm thinking I'm going to do this game. And he says, I'm good to go. My voice is good. So it never actually happened. It never actually happened. I swear to God. I swear to God. To this day, it is the biggest honor of my career. Is that moment right there. The fact
the
that
game you didn't do.
The game I didn't do. And I was horrible at play-by-play. I mean, I once did a Florida high school broadcast that Palm Beach Gardens got to the 51-yard line. There's no 51-yard line. That's not a thing. Go ahead, Tausch. Say what you're going to say, because I know you're chomping at the bit. Go ahead.
I don't have anything. I'm proud of you. That was good. It's good
God,
stuff.
that is
Good
a great story.
It's a good little yarn.
It was the Matt LePay flu game.
Yes.
Yeah, almost.
What a warrior.
It was almost. No, I'm serious. We have all been fortunate enough to cover amazing things and go. I've been to the Rose Bowls, obviously, with the Badgers, the Final Four, World Series. I covered the Marlins, NBA Finals, the Heat a million times over. No big deal. I've been to I was at some horrible national championship games. Alabama destroying Notre Dame, Florida destroying Oklahoma, or USC destroying Oklahoma, whatever it was in South Florida. I've been to all these big sporting events. I've been so lucky. But when you have somebody, and this goes for anybody in life, when you have somebody that you truly look up to that's a mentor, give you that vote of confidence, even for a moment, what's better than that? Even if it didn't happen. Go ahead. Just Tausch, say what you're going to say. I feel like Tausch feels uncomfortable taking
I think
shots
that's a
at the
great. I love
Dude,
that
it's
story.
a great story. Evan, not everything needs to be ripped and yarned up. That's an awesome story. And it tells you a lot about Matt LePay's judgment, which is questionable. But outside of that, it's a great story.
Now we're back. Now we're back.
What do you want me to do? I want this is uncomfortable. It's way too nice and fun, and I'm getting a little.
You know what? In all seriousness, it is an interesting decision. Why would you not just hire a local DC broadcaster that's a professional? Why and then have me give that person the notes? Why would I be the person as an intern to call it on the statewide network for an NCAA tournament team against an eventual champion?
Yeah,
you're right. LePay deserves to be questioned retroactively.
You would not be cleared for air here at ESPN Madison.
We will question him next time we talk to him about that decision.
Jesse, what's your accomplishment? Asking for 3 days off in a row?
Oh, burn.
That cruise I went on, that the Packers weren't in the Super Bowl, and I've successfully avoided disaster.
Everyone wanted the Packers to go to the Super Bowl, not because they're fans, just so you get screwed out of the cruise.
That would have been great. Evan, we were all over the map today, but we did get to get a great story about you and Matt LePay and the NCAA tournament, and Tausch was only belligerent with you briefly and misquoted me 3 times. Thanks for your time. We appreciate you.
Jason, 10 seconds on the original thing, and I'll go. I don't think the younger audience understands the I'm back moment like we all do.
You're probably right.
I don't think they understand the magnitude with no Twitter, no social media, not the level of speculation we have with everything in life now, of when Michael Jordan, out of nowhere, just decides to come back to play basketball.
Faxed it back.
One of the biggest
fax machine.
Faxed it. Excellent detail, Tausch.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's boss.
Wow.
It's a boss play. Boss move. That's why he's the GOAT.
Yep, undoubtedly. See y'all.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. You can hear him every weekday across ESPN Wisconsin, and you can also watch him on, is it ESPNU that they run that on?
They're on ESPN2 until
ESPN2.
7 a.m., and then at 7 a.m. it switches over to ESPNU.
Oh, okay. So you got to be a little agile to be able to move around for that, but it's worthwhile. I know Tausch loves to watch it. And listen to it when he's coming back from pickleball. All right, we have got, speaking of exciting things, before Tausch leaves us, and we still have one segment left in the 9 o'clock hour, but you heard me mention yesterday that Thanalysis Live is back. Well, guess what? You're going to have a chance to go to it by winning a pair of tickets to Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, courtesy of McDonald's. All you got to do is be caller. It's March 29th is the event. 2 plus 9 is 11. So caller 11 right now. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 11 right now wins 2 tickets to Thanalysis Live on March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis for a live show that's going to entertain fans like none other. Last year, Thanasis surprised his brother Giannis, who, by the way, was also there. I don't quite understand why the surprise appearance from Stephen A. Smith gets higher billing than the fact that Giannis was at it. But both Stephen A. Smith and Giannis were there, and now you could be there because you never know what Thanasis has planned for 2025. And if you don't win the tickets here on Wilde and Tausch, you can still get your tickets to Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live right now. Visit ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison on social media for event and ticket information. Excitement and entertainment you can't get anywhere else. It's Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino and Carbless, and supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's. Caller 11 right now, 844-770-3776, wins 2 tickets to Thanalysis Live, courtesy of McDonald's. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, we'll continue to help you fill out your brackets as well as wait for the next QB domino to fall. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Wisconsin owning the 13th best odds to be bracket champs per ESPN Bet. ESPN analyst Josh Pastner sees Bucky as a solid threat. Pastner backing that up with 4 points during his appearance on the jump around.
Number one, they defend without fouling. Number two, they don't turn the ball over. Number three, they are fundamentally sound at everything they do. 4, they make threes, and they make threes at a high clip, and you have perimeter players in Blackwell, Tonje, and Klesmit being able to make those threes.
Play back the full special edition of the Jump Around on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Mark Osiki's Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament coming up Saturday, May 17th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. It's a great time, great people, all for a great cause. There's lunch, dinner, raffles, and auctions, all to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. Plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat from Don's Marine. Join us on the water May 17th. Donate or partner with us. Learn more and register at castingforkids.org. That's casting4kids.org.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new to you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. To let it get away on the road.
My view on it today is I don't expect it to happen, and I don't think it's likely to happen, but I'm not ready to dismiss it. So, I think it's a long shot, but there's a shot in there because you just don't know how this is going to play out. I don't think the Vikings are planning on it. I don't think they're banking on it. I don't think they're anticipating it. But I do believe that Aaron Rodgers is interested in Minnesota, and Minnesota has not completely ruled it out.
That is Adam Schefter discussing the possibility of Aaron Rodgers becoming a Viking and incredibly following the exact same career arc in terms of teams he played for as Brett Favre. Packers to Jets to Vikings. Tausch, are you hoping for this or not hoping for this?
If he wants to play, I hope that he ends up in Minnesota. That's what I would say. And I think it's selfish on my end because it would just be drama on drama on drama. And I think that's always fun for us. And I think from a Packer fan standpoint, listen, man, we love juice. We love all of that. We want the Packers to win. And I don't think this moves the needle much more than what Sam Darnold. I do think when they made the decision to not bring Sam Darnold back, I think they were going to dip. And if I'm them, I am looking really long and hard at this or a different veteran to give myself more outs than just putting all my eggs in the J.J. McCarthy basket, because you have a roster and a locker room that believes they can win. You're spending that way. And it's a lot to ask a quarterback that's never taken a regular season snap to go out there and do it. So from a winning standpoint, I think it hurts Green Bay a little bit, but I think I don't think it's like, oh, we can't overcome that. Like, we knew when Favre went to Minnesota's stacked roster in 2009, it was going to be tough sledding.
Yeah.
Now in 10, they fell off a cliff, and that's what would more than likely happen. But you could catch lightning in a bottle like they did, and they should have won a championship. They didn't, and we're all in Green Bay happy about that outside of Jesse. This would be the case where that roster is stacked, and if Aaron Rodgers plays good, solid, he doesn't need to be a hero, which is what they expected him to do in New York. That is no longer who he is. But can he manage games and go win with that roster? I do think he could.
Well, we don't need you to be a hero, but we do need you to tell us about UW Credit Union, where I've been a member longer than you.
Mark Tauscher here, and I am a UW Credit Union member. Been for a year. I haven't been as long as Jason, but I am reaping all the benefits. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And if you're ready to give fees the stiff arm, UW Credit Union will help. No monthly fee checking and overdrafts that never cost more than $5. Members get a bunch of perks. Get your money up to 2 days sooner with early pay, and you get a checking account with no monthly fees at UW Credit Union. Join today at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The countdown to the start of the NCAA tournament is on. 3-seed Wisconsin, 14-seed Montana, Thursday afternoon in Denver. Tip time Central, set for 12:30, nationally televised on TNT. Mountain time, that's 11:30. It's the third game of the first day of the NCAA tournament. Wisconsin coming off 4 games in 4 days in the Big Ten tournament, including the last game of the college basketball season Sunday afternoon in their loss to Michigan. Wisconsin has opened as a 17-point favorite, according to ESPN Bet. Plenty more to get you set for the game on the Varsity Podcast. Subscribe, Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcast. Marquette also in action Friday night in the NCAA tournament's opening round. The 7-seed Golden Eagles and 10-seed New Mexico meet 6:25 Central Time tip on Friday night. Marquette a 4-point favorite, according to ESPN Bet. NBA tonight, the Bucks back in action out west, visiting the Golden State Warriors. Tip time at 9 o'clock. Pregame coverage starts at 8:30 here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour, starting at 10:15 of Wilde and Tausch.
Log on today or what?
Feels like it. Since I mismanaged the clock, which is nothing new here, I do have one final question on this, because I don't like spending time on things that are unlikely to happen, and I kept saying this as we discussed Devontae, which made so much sense. I don't know if Goody has any interest, and I hated the idea that it all made sense to all of us, but not made sense to him, and we spent all that time, and Goody was never going to do it. Never even contacted him or his agent, Frank Bauer, ever, period. So the Rodgers to Minnesota thing, also, you just heard what Adam Schefter said about the likelihood. He called it a long shot.
Yeah.
That said, will the vitriol be far less for him? Like, will it be met with more of a collective shrug than the white-hot intensity that you were part of? And you remember how the head coach, very obsessed with beating old Brett and not very good at handling it in 2009. Do you think from a fan perspective and from a team perspective, it won't be anything close to that, or do you think I'm underestimating it?
No, it won't be close to it, but I mean, it's not going to be in the same ballpark as what the Favre thing was. I think as we've seen over the last 2 years, the time has kind of went by. Jordan has established himself, and at that point, Favre was still playing at an MVP level, and for whatever reason, you could look at all of the different circumstances. People were ready to move on. I think the Favre piece, you weren't, which is ironic because I think everybody knew Rodgers was in a much better spot than Jordan Love was. But it's just people had enough. And I think they still do, and they realize with what Aaron did with the injury and how he's played, I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal, but it will. I promise you this. It'll be a big deal when that game comes. And I would bet that the NFL will schedule the Packers and Vikings very early in that in next season, if that does come about. And the passion and all of the intrigue will be red hot or white hot at that point. But I don't think, and that's why I wanted to ask our fans that question. I think from our standpoint, we knew that was going to be a big challenge with Favre playing at that level with that team. I don't think we know that yet because Aaron didn't play probably to the level we've expected. That doesn't mean he still can't. He's got that, as you put it, scorched earth vibe to him.
That is how I put
it.
Yeah.
He will be all fired up, but Brett was not 42. Brett was 38, 39. There's a difference in that too. So it will not be the same passion, but I can assure you, if he walks down that field at Lambeau in a purple or a white uniform, he will be booed vociferously if that happens.
All right. We have you until 10:30. Is that correct?
We do. Yeah, we have another segment. Yep.
All right. Well, I want to get to your guy, Dove Kleiman, who I still don't understand what happened with that account and who that is.
It's an odd situation.
But whoever they are posted something that caught both my attention and Jesse's yesterday. So I want to get to that. But before that, if Aaron Rodgers joins the Vikings, will you promise right now to play him on Prize Picks every single week that he is available?
No, I won't make that promise.
Well, tell us about Prize Picks anyway.
All right, Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody and simple, more or less, on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. It is the best place to go. You have all kinds of fun basketball stuff coming up. You can combine that with baseball that just started over in Japan, hockey, esports, and much more. Don't miss.
Run
your
game.
Maybe he won't be with us until 10:30. We will try to reconnect with old boy, and if not, Jesse and I will talk about this list because it really interested us. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County presents The Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison, because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. They have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s are Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is, I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Vintage Brewing Company. Whether you're looking to get carry-out, delivery, or dine-in, Vintage Brewing has lots of great options on their menu. Vintage Brewing Company prides themselves on being a great place to hang out and enjoy classic Midwestern hospitality. Vintage Brewing Company has multiple award-winning beers, so be sure to try one the next time you're in. Head to vintagebrewingcompany.com to make a reservation today. That's vintagebrewingcompany.com.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Churio, a high fly ball. Back, track, bye, baseball!
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
So your guy Dove published this list, which I'm not going to lie, still a little sketch.
Who, Dove or the list?
Dove. I mean, the list, according to Dove.
So we don't think Dove is an actual human being, right?
No, he definitely, I mean, he may have been once upon a time, but we know he sold this account to somebody else, and be that as it may.
Okay.
Every NFL, MLB, and NBA stadium / ballpark / arena ranked by average review on Yelp, Google, TripAdvisor, and Facebook. And number 1 is Lambeau Field. But interestingly, American Family Field is 11th.
Okay.
In between Pittsburgh's PNC Park, Baltimore's Camden Yards, St. Louis's Busch Stadium, San Francisco's Oracle Park, Seattle's Lumen Field, Boston's Fenway Park, Chicago's Wrigley Field, and Miami's the Kaseya Center, and Target Field in Minneapolis.
Miami's is great because nobody's there.
Easy to get parking and stand in line in the concession stand because there is no line. I wasn't surprised. Everybody loves Lambeau Field. It's a great place. American Family Field finishing 11th, I thought was great news.
Good.
That's amazing.
Well, part of it is, too, I think, and not to toot Wisconsin's own horn, but part of it is the people love having fans come in. Like, I think Lambeau for sure. You want to have, it's not like Philly where you're firing eggs at people and doing this other stuff. You want people to have a good time and give good Yelp reviews. Hey, Frankie let me come and have a brat at his house. He gave me a beer and he let me use the bathroom. Like, there is the obviously the stadium and the
good
amenities
review for
and all
Frankie.
this other stuff. But there is something about we want to beat you, but we want you to have a good time and tell your friends to come. Like, that's what we want as Wisconsin fans.
The Fiserv Forum ranking was 53rd.
Boy, I think the game experience in there is awesome. I do.
And then the bottom rung locations. SoFi Stadium in L.A., 85th. The Golden One Center in Sacramento, 86th. Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, 87th. Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, 88th. Barely ahead of the Oakland Coliseum, which the Raiders left.
Sewage running out of that place.
And last place, Commanders Field. I believe it's the old FedEx Field. That's why the Commanders want a new building, maybe back on the RFK Stadium grounds. Any of those surprise you that they're in the bottom? SoFi is a brand new place in L.A.
Yeah, L.A., it's just the fan experience. It's going to be beautiful. But, Oakland, dump. Vegas surprises me.
Yeah,
because
me
there's
too.
a lot to do. That one surprises me. But you know what they all could use?
They can use new bathrooms from Kohler
New
Services.
bathrooms, and it is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
We say goodbye to Tausch. Bye, Tausch.
See you guys.
And we say hello to our mystery guest. I can't wait to find out who it is. We'll all find out together next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison. Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
I think this team can make a run and win games in the tournament. Why? Number one, they defend without fouling. Number two, they don't turn the ball over. Number three, they are fundamentally sound in everything they do. And so I like this team to win games.
The Jump Around podcast with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias, streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Join the Madison Area Sports Commission live and in person for a Good Morning Sports event featuring Love Madison Volleyball. On March 31st, meet an all-star lineup of Love Madison athletes and hear about the first season of pro volleyball in Madison. Registration donations benefit the MASC Youth Grant to get kids into sports. Register online at visitmadison.com/GMS. This event is sponsored by American Family Insurance and Oak Bank, supported by ESPN Madison, and produced by the Madison Area Sports Commission.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Out there. Come on! I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you. Up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. Well, let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
School sports fans, remember, when you cheer for your team, make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Wisconsin.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents the Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
think I know who our surprise guest is. It is not Warren Moon. It is not Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. I think, based on the music, it's either Bono or The Edge of U2. No. Almost as awesome, though, as Bono and The Edge. This was his walk-up music for many years on this program. And then Tausch just cast him aside like yesterday's newspaper, which the newspaper did to me earlier this year. It is the Badgers outsider, Derek Blakesley, on Wilde and Tausch making his triumphant return. DB, how you be?
Surprise!
I don't want to speak for Tausch. And I did inquire to ask whether you guys were on good terms because, man, he dropped you like a hot potato like late in that playoff game when Giannis didn't want any part of holding the basketball. And he said you guys are great. You're still good friends. Is that an accurate depiction of your relationship currently?
I think our relationship is just fine. It's better than it was when I was on the show. We talk a lot. I think it's kind of like not since the disappearance of Steve from Blue's Clues has there been a less clear exit from a show. I think I was off and then it was never on again for a long time. But no, we're good friends. I think the timing of it was generally pretty good. I think you can agree, Jason. Some of the conversations we were having toward the end there were getting pretty dark about some of the directions of the way the football program was headed and what was happening with collegiate sports in general. And so I think a little break from the discourse, and I think my replacements were probably pretty good too. So just super. I was always very grateful to be on the show. We had a great run. It's still, I listen quite frequently to the show and everything else. So and then have some spot duty to show up periodically like today. I'm sure people are super excited that I'm the surprise. I mean, this has to exceed expectations. I mean,
well, I'll be honest with you. I think there's been a lot of folks that have missed your very unvarnished opinions on University of Wisconsin athletics. Now, I don't think Chris McIntosh is among them. We had a difficult conversation a couple weeks ago with Evan Cohen about the football program, and Tausch gave me a Jason to try and not have to answer the question that had been posed, and we all get it, right? He's the color analyst on the Badgers radio network. We understand what that comes with, but you are not beholden to anyone. It's part of your charm.
No. And I'm very grateful, Jason. A lot of people, when I wasn't on for a while, I mean a lot more than you would think, reached out and just were very, very nice. And some people did say there were conspiracy theories, which some degree is true. But I'm not going to go on the show, and I think in the whole country there's just a lack of people that are willing to tell the truth. And I think it's stupid. I think we've gotten to a very stupid place where in any kind of discourse, you can't have an opinion and state it plainly, and let the facts stand on their own to try and be part of an argument. It turns into, platitudes and everybody getting upset. And so, here we are. But I'm okay with it. I was so again grateful for a lot of the nice things people had said, and the way I was treated very well by the show the whole time. By the way, I mean, just fabulous. So. But I do think there's a void. People need people to get on and say what's on their mind and flesh some things out, as opposed to trying to make everybody feel okay and not have to answer. I feel when I am on the air, the general public, the sports fan, has a voice, and that's what I've tried to do.
I got a Pepsi Zero Sugar here in your name, DB.
My God, it's got to be zero sugar Pepsi just flooding out of the fridges.
Barry Alvarez has taken on your role of critiquing the UW athletic
I don't
program.
think they're loving. I don't think they're loving Coach over at the athletic department all that much either. I've heard him a couple times. He's also quite honest with his opinion.
He is. He's like the Derek Blakesley with a slightly better resume. Speaking of resumes, because there is a lot of excitement in the YouTube comments. Lots. There are people that are there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation points from Chris saying the Badgers outsider. Bob guessed correctly that it was you,
They're
and then
more
said,
happy
"Let's
about
go!"
this than Warren Moon. They're more happy about Derek's appearance.
But Geriad, our French correspondent in Canton, Ohio, asks the important question, which is, since you dropped off the face of the earth on this program, did you get into your high school Hall of Fame yet since your last appearance? Or because I haven't been working on your behalf, has that just sort of stalled like the quarterback carousel in the NFL?
I think everybody would know the answer to that question. I would have found a way. I would have called somebody and gotten on the show. And I guess we can ask publicly, Jason, you were going to be the catalyst to make all this happen. And here we are. It's now 2025. I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and,
well, you just disappeared. Like, again, this was like who shot JR, who ran Derek Blakesley off the show, and quite frankly, your friendship with Tausch may be great. I very rarely hear from you. I got to go back. Let me go into my text chains because I keep every text, which eats up a lot of space and memory on my phone.
Well, I think the truth is this: when you really boil it down, it's like, well, why was the outsider not on anymore? Well, I sat there on the show and I talked about Arizona State football and Herm Edwards and having a GM and said, this is the direction it's going to go. We're going to have GMs, we're going to have front offices, and it's going to be run. And everybody said, you're an idiot. You're a moron. You don't know what you're talking about. I came on 2 weeks later. I said, Jordan Love's going to be the starting quarterback here. I don't know why we're all sitting around ruffling our feathers. Give him the money. Aaron Rodgers is going to go somewhere. He's going to get hurt. He's going to flop. It happens. And now we're still talking about it 2 years later. And I sat there and talked about all these other things, and everyone was just like, all right, you've got your opinions, and you don't know what you're talking about. Let's give this to the pros. Evan Cohen comes on the show. He's taking up some of my oxygen. When I was in college when Evan was at the UW, I was there at the same time. I was making all the girls' dreams come true at the college club on a Saturday night. He was sitting home in the dorm looking in the mirror and making sure he had non-regional diction. I don't know what he did. But it worked out pretty good for both of us. But I'm just saying, I think I got a little too accurate too fast. You know?
Well, the last time I heard from Derek Blakesley was on Saturday, November 16th. Wisconsin was playing Oregon. You asked me where my rooting interests were that evening, and I said for Sydney's basketball team. So there you have it. So now that you're here, and we're going to keep you for as long as possible because I and many, many others are thrilled to have you. My first question, though, is this, because we'll get to the Badger football program. We'll get to whatever else you have on your mind. But your friend, Mark Tauscher, proclaimed this a Final Four basketball team, the University of Wisconsin men's basketball club. And then they proceeded to blow a lead to Oregon and lose at home to Penn State. Then they righted the ship and reached the finals of the Big Ten tournament. Where do the Badgers outsiders' expectations lie after the Badgers got hosed and got sent to Denver and are now playing on a short week? What are your expectations for a tournament run?
Well, they've been fun to watch, haven't they? It's been a really, really fun team to watch, easy to like. This is not a Final Four team, and I'll tell you why. I think when we're going to deal with other teams that have length and athleticism down in the post, Crowell is a good player, but offensive rebounding down the stretch when we play tight isn't good enough. And in one of these games, it's not going to be good enough. If anybody has watched the games where we've struggled, I've never seen a basketball team in the history of our program, and we're in a great spot right now. And like I said, I've enjoyed it. I have my battles with streaming companies and what I'm going to subscribe to and what I will and will not watch because I have principles. But when I do watch them, I love the way that they play. Our ability to make shots is better than it's ever been. The way we move the ball is great. There's just that little tinge of whether we've got tired legs from 4 games in 4 days or not, where we're going to go for cold stretches. The offense, what Kirk Penny has contributed to Greg's operation, fantastic. I love it. I think we might have a good run in the tournament, but it just makes me think if we've got length in the post and athleticism on the offensive boards in the last 4 to 5 minutes of these games, and we're a little bit tight and our legs are a little bit tired, I see us coming up a little bit short given the 4 teams that can beat us because of the draw we got, which is also ridiculous. People don't like when I talk about corruption either, and I have always a tinge of a little bit of what the heck's going on here.
A lot of
Things don't make
tinges.
sense. Well, there's a tinge. And so all of a sudden you see a team that's hot. We're getting finally some national attention. We're putting up the points. Everybody wants Wisconsin to put up the points. We put up the points. We beat the teams. We go into the places that you got to win. We win. We have one bad game against Penn State where it doesn't work. All of a sudden we're playing basketball at 5,000 feet out somewhere 2,000 miles from home. When just as easily as a 3 seed and where we're at and what would be good for the fans, that's what drives me nuts. And maybe that game ran a little tired for me as far as my rants on that. But the greed and the egos hurt the experience. They've hurt the experience for the student athlete. They've hurt the experience for the fan. Also, we've gotten to this mishmash of controversy, including Bubba down there in North Carolina, who just says, "Well, I'm the chairman of the committee. Chairman of the committee. I run the whole show, except for the 10 seconds I step out and have a cigarette." Well, then they just do whatever they want. It happens to be that we got one quad win for North Carolina in their tournament. Those two things, the move from not getting to play in Milwaukee for Wisconsin and throwing North Carolina in there when everybody on its face knows that it's ridiculous, is the stuff that makes me so mad as I get older. I'm afraid I'm going to have a stroke. That's how upset I get, and that's sometimes I can't hold it back, Jason. It's passion. I've got passion.
You do believe that they got hosed? That this is not, they lost to Penn State, which was a very bad loss to end the regular season. They didn't win. If they'd have won the Big Ten tournament, even though both those teams were dead dog tired by the time that game.
Wasn't. Yeah, that's not even a basketball game. That fourth game, you watch us compete against Michigan State. You look at the way the ball moves, the way we shoot free throws, all the things we do right as a team. Defensively, some of the things we're able to do. This is a team that people want to watch across the country. We have a star in John Tonje. We got 2 of the coaches from our from other teams that step up after they say he's the best player. So we got arguably the best conference in college basketball, arguably the best player, arguably with the most compelling team that's not completely bought and paid for up and down. And where are we going to play when we're on national TV on Thursday? Denver, and we're a 3 seed. Yeah. That's the type of stuff. I don't let that go. I don't just move on. It's like some of the things with the officiating and all these reviews. And everyone's like, well, that's terrible, and then they move on. I have a hard time as a regular guy spending my time away from my children or cleaning the house. And I'm going to make an investment in doing this and watching some of the things that they unfold. And then that's all of a sudden we just move on to the next game, move on to the next thing. Well, sometimes I get stuck. I still know that Joel Stavi's knee was down, and I still have nightmares about it. That's how hard it is for me to move forward from some of these things. And that's why I get frustrated.
In the interest of full disclosure, Joseph, in the ESPN Madison comments, frankly not excited, a bit underwhelmed with this surprise. I will try to keep an open mind and listen. Good content so far. Just expected a famous guest.
Has he been downtown on a Saturday night? Has he been downtown on a Saturday night when the outsider comes rolling in?
Downtown Reedsburg or downtown 40s. Somewhere else?
Well, downtown Reedsburg mainly. Loganville or Laval if you're real local in Sauk County. I come rolling in there sometimes. Yeah, I mean, look, people are going to be disappointed. I get it. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to hear from a fellow Badger, someone that's got a little skin in the game. Why, for the 5 millionth time, we're going to talk about how bad of a quarterback Aaron Rodgers has become? He should have retired 2 years ago. But yet, we'll still talk about it day after day nationally. Sure, let's talk about a guy that can't evade the rush anymore. He can't do the things he wants to do. He's not a team guy. The reason he doesn't retire is because he's got nothing to retire to. That should be the end of the conversation. What more is there?
He's earned a victory lap on this one. It's fair. He called it.
Yeah, he called it. He undeniably did. I do want to get into where the Badger football program is at because you are unfiltered, unfettered. I wouldn't say unconnected because you have your connections. You're like Ben Brust getting that scoop on the Packers going to Ireland. You're on top of things. So I do want to get your thoughts on that. One more thing on basketball, though. You mentioned that this team is not entirely bought and paid for like other programs. I am curious what you think of the job that Greg Gard has done in assembling in the current landscape, and we'll talk about it in football realm next. But what do you think of the job Gardo has done? Because Tausch and I are obviously very much biased. We both consider Greg a friend, and we're always pulling for him. What do you think of the job Greg Gard has done with this team specifically?
I just listen to other coaches, and you listen to the press conferences. You listen to the press conferences after games, and what's the first thing? And even years where we're not excellent, coaches say, "Hey, when you know you're playing Wisconsin, you're playing against. They're not going to beat themselves. That's a big sign of having a good coach. They're not going to go out and they're disciplined. They value the ball. Those are the kinds of things that tell me he does the right things. When we get our revenue sharing money, and then we have to divide that up amongst players, we're limited to what we can do because we have a lot of success at UW across sports, including women's, which is interesting. So I think given the parameters that we operate in here, we got a guy out of Verona or out of Oregon, lives over here, and so does by Jim Carvalho. He's a top player in the country. Everybody wants him. What are the odds that financially we can bring a player like that in? Probably zero. So we have to put teams together. Greg's got to put teams together that can compete in the top conference, and we're like at the top of the conference. I think his results, and I think the way he carries himself, and as a family man, I think that speaks for itself. My opinion of the average guy off the street who knows nothing about enough about basketball is just to listen to other coaches. He's fantastic. And we're lucky to have him, and we're getting the results. It's not going to be every year. We don't have the resources to do that, but we can have years like this where it's going to be special. And I guarantee you, guys are making plans, because I know I am, of going down and watching Sweet 16, kind of getting that second weekend. And that's what Badger basketball's got to be, is trying to get to that second weekend and then see where the chips will fall.
Yeah, and the plans to go to Milwaukee on Friday, scuttled by the committee.
Why? God forbid make anybody happy and do the right thing. No way. NCAA won't do it.
We'll do the right thing and spend more time talking to Derek, get his thoughts on where Badgers football stands as the spring practices are underway in Madison. Want to remind you, doing the right thing, do the right thing if you've been injured in an accident. Make the call. One call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website, gruber-law.com. Find out more about the firm, all the great lawyers that are there. And again, David is affiliated with all your favorite teams. He does so much in our communities. He's the best. And you want the best on your team if you're fighting for your rights after an accident. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. Continuing our call with Derek Blakesley, the Badgers outsider. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Brewers.
They're really good at identifying talent. They're really good at developing talent.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
This is one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball.
100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and with summer coming, you want to start thinking about maybe what your summer job situation is going to look like. Madison School and Community Recreation is now hiring for a whole bunch of positions, including day camp and youth program leaders, outdoor adventure staff, support staff for individuals with disabilities, sports instructors, officials, my personal favorite, and a whole lot more. Full and part-time positions, daytime and evening hours available. No matter your interest, no matter your schedule, no matter where you live, there's a position for everyone. At MSCR, you can make an immediate impact in the community and gain meaningful experience. The experience I had as an official when I was a kid, that is stuff that I've carried with for the rest of my life. Start your summer adventure today. Apply at mscr.org. That's mscr.org.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhafels. Test rest a Beauty Rest Black for your chance to win a dream Hawaiian vacation. Shop now and save up to $400 on Beauty Rest Black mattresses only at Steinhafels. Wisconsin owning the 13th best odds to be bracket champs per ESPN Bet. ESPN analyst Josh Pastner sees Bucky as a solid threat. Pastner backing that up with 4 points during his appearance on the jump around.
Number one, they defend without fouling. Number two, they don't turn the ball over. Number 3, they are fundamentally sound at everything they do. 4, they make threes, and they make threes at a high clip, and you have perimeter players in Blackwell, Tonje, and Klesman being able to make those threes.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league. Bring the energy and be a part of history in Madison. Join us for the inaugural League One volleyball season. The second half of the season is heating up, so don't miss your chance to see these incredible athletes up close at the Alliant Energy Center. Follow Love Madison Volleyball on their journey to the first ever championship in Louisville from April 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets now at lovb.com and be a part of this game-changing season. Volleyball is the next major league.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the Golden State Warriors.
Antetokounmpo's got it on the other side now. Spins inside. Whirling dervish. Count it with a foul as he lays it in.
Tonight on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Continuing with Derek Blakesley. Some very excited at this surprise, others, kind of mid. But he's never mid in my mind. And I do picture him running with his overalls across Barry Alvarez Field at Camp Randall Stadium. Maybe you can wear those when you go to see Coldplay or Morgan Wallen at old Camp Randall this summer. All right, Derek. Let's have the conversation. Tausch isn't here. Is Luke Fickell ultimately going to prove to be the right guy for Badger football?
I think Luke has got a little bit of time here. Look, this is a really complicated time in the sport. There were 2 points in the season, USC and Ohio State, where I thought we were a quarterback away from winning the football game. I mean, we missed on, we didn't have a quarterback, and we had an offensive coordinator. The decision to bring Longo in wasn't bad. It just missed. We needed something different. And it was more than just a feeling we needed to do something different. We had to do something different. We did. I don't know what the hell that was when I watched it on the field for a couple of years. It was mind-numbing that we would go to running short zone routes in tight spaces with quarterbacks that couldn't see over the line. I mean, it was unbelievably complicated, simple offense, and that we did not have the athletes and the matchups to take advantage of. So we move on from that chapter. Luke's in the prime of his coaching career. and he's at Wisconsin. We only have so many resources to work with. And with that scarcity, there's things that are valuable to us. One is stability in our program. That's how we can bring people in. Athletes that still value the educational component. We have one of the finest universities in the world. But we got to hit in key positions. The reason we weren't winning games before is once you stop the run, we couldn't make you pay. So what we were saying offensively the last time before the unfortunate disappearance of the outsider was we need to be able to push the ball down the field to get people into a two deep so we could have some blocking matchups up front so that we could run the ball and we might be able to get a quick score every once in a while we had to get the amount of points scored up. So now we're going to bring somebody in. We're going to do it a little way that fits the personnel we can bring in. Fickle's got time. And I think the athletic department is doing everything we can with the collective. I mean, really it's going to come down to people are going to have to open up their wallets. Nobody wants to talk about this. It's uncomfortable. It's like, we already give enough money for seats. It's going to take money. Talent out. And right now, until the rules go into place, I think it's going to be 2-year contracts and some things to put some guardrails in place. It's going to take a lot of money to bring in the top talent skill players that are going to tilt the field and will be the difference in whether you win or lose some of these games. And we need a quarterback. And if we bring in one more quarterback that cannot get a first down with their feet on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, we will not have success in the Big Ten. We can't be pro-style drop-back passing. It's not going to happen. Even if we finally bring play action back into the fold, we need an athlete at quarterback that can earn first downs with their feet and can be effective with an option or other types of looks on the goal line so we're not down there kicking 15-yard field goals or not getting it on fourth down. We can't afford those momentum swings.
Derek, when you say it's going to take money, I know you're independently wealthy, even though you have all those kids and all those activities and hockey fees and everything else. Where does that money come from? Because I'm a proud alum of the University of Wisconsin. I set up a scholarship in the journalism school for my friend Tom Mulhern. Where are you going to come up with all this money? Because you don't have that. You don't have that money laying around. Neither do I. Do we have enough deep pockets until there is some sort of salary cap in place to do what you just said you need to do?
Hey, it's been a good year for Derek Blakeslee, so don't, but not that good of a year. You're right. So if I was advising, if you sat me down right now, and I sat with Mac and I had an hour and a half, off the top of my head, there's two things I'd want to do. The people that are going to fund this and help get this thing back on track are going to be the former athletes and pro athletes that have made it big here. If Tausch was here, this is when he'd get up and walk out of the room. It's kind of like when the bill comes at the restaurant. He goes to the bathroom.
Sure.
He doesn't want any part of it.
Goes
it's
to find
be the
Tommy.
former
In
athletes.
fairness, he's not here.
It's true.
Oh, he took me off the air for a year. He's not here for 5-10 minutes. I'm going to have to tell the truth as it is. So, and I think that those former athletes and our current athletes, we need to leverage the partnerships that we have in the all the way up through the Fox Valley and all the way through the rest of the state. We got to take the show on the road and mount a bit of a PR campaign to raise money and to raise awareness about UW athletics, the collective, how the collective works, how revenue sharing works. And we got to involve our current players. And obviously then it takes generational money. Look, we're doing projects that are $238 million. We forgot to put a decent track in, but we still had the money to do it.
That's still unbelievable.
Right? It's unbelievable. And I would mention my good old friend Tara Clack-Bell and her family helping with the track program to get some training and done out there, going out to Lodi. I was just reading.
That's a great facility that her dad
the
built.
Old former warehouse that Rich had available, so we could get our Division I top-end track program out.
National championship contending track program, which is homeless. Yes.
Some of our it's a question about priorities. It's a question about the folks that have the generational wealth. You look at the buildings on campus, guys. You look at the Mortgage Foundation. You look at all the places. There's got to be a prioritization here. But I think if you're going to have guys that have made it big and they've made their money, we have the biotech industry. We've got other companies who've done very well around here, and I feel like at the end of the Alvarez era in football, some relationships with some of the donors it got a little sour. Some of the money that was going into athletics was diverted into other parts of the university. There needs to be some repair. There needs to be the addition of athletes that they like to comment on what's happening with the program, but I'm not exactly sure the wallets are open yet.
That's a fair critique. Lots of opinions for sure.
Who wants the team to play better? And Brian's going to have to shell out. If Melvin Gordon's got opinions, these guys that done the university has catapulted them to great places. There's more. Russell Wilson. So people are like, "Where's the money?"
Russell Wilson was here for 6 months. I'm not sure he cares that much.
That was a tremendous 6 months.
It was.
That's almost as good. That was almost as good of a surprise as me showing up for half an hour today. So the resources are there, but we got to get out to the public. I feel like generally the athletic department operates internally and into themselves and with the collective. That's got to flip. I would invert that. We have to be out in the communities. We got to be taking these college athletes and giving them, reimbursing them for their time. But get out, do the charity softball game, do the charity basketball game, go out and have the autograph sessions, work at the car, do the car dealership stuff and sign some balls and things, and talk about the things we're going to need. When people walk out of there, they have to understand how money's raised, how it's we got to make decisions about who's going to get it, and actually individual players. And there is very little transparency. And most people don't know this. If you lose a player to Michigan State because they signed him to some contract, some NIL deal, you don't know what that number is. There is no transparency on accounting for what another school is paying.
Agreed.
So you don't know. You can't set a darn market. You can't set a darn market. And it goes back to the egos of the people of the NCAA that saw this coming. Because I can tell you, if a moron like me can walk off the street 3 years ago and talk to an award-winning journalist such as Jason Wilde, and we both sat there with our mouths open going, this is not going in a good direction in general for college athletics. And they just let the train wreck happen, and now we're sitting there trying to build the plane while it's flying, and it's difficult. But until the markets are set, you're playing a guessing game. And so people need to understand that. We need to put regulation around it that can be an enforcement. What does enforcement look like, and what's reasonable? I think in our society, this is a big thing because I may never be on again. You have to exercise discretion. People have to make choices in discretion and show that they have the freedom to make good choices on facts. And in the absence of that, stupid things happen. And when stupid things happen, we have consequences. And that's what we're seeing in Division I athletics, with an experience that athletes are struggling with. A lot of guys don't even find teams after they go into the portal. Their careers are over. They haven't gotten an education. It's a waste. And then a lot of fans don't even know who the starting five on their basketball team is, and much more, they're not going to know who it is next year. So, look, as a tactical matter of fact, we have to hit on a quarterback finally. And we've got to get to an offensive coordinator that when we go out there, I mean, let's talk about this, Jason. Everybody should know what the play is that we're going to run. We can't be calling timeouts because we have no idea when we're at the 3-yard line about to score what everybody's role is, what their job is. And so that's why I'm optimistic. And I think that the athletic department is getting trashed far more than they should be for how difficult this is in our market and with a university that actually is legit as one of the top research universities in the world. There's a lot with the mission there that's very valuable, but this is a tough job. And until they get some rules, and I think Mac talked about it in front of Congress, we need to have a modus operandi so that everyone can then put their models in place and we can compete. It doesn't have to be a level playing field so much, but there has to be guardrails and safeguards to make sure that this hasn't spun out of control, because eventually the dollars will stop flowing in when everything gets concentrated into a few schools, which you're seeing.
All right, Derek, last thing. If those guardrails are put in place and the money is there, do you believe that Luke Fickell will get the players and they will have that success? Because I just as you've been talking, I've had a number of folks, both in the YouTube comments, private talk and text line, a couple of tweets. They are Fickell doubters. I am not in that group. I'm a wait and see person on Fickell. I was a Jim Leonard stan. I will acknowledge that. I don't think that prevents me from giving Luke Fickell the credit that he deserves if things go the way you want. But there was a lot of fanfare and a lot of this was the perfect hire when it happened. And at this point, it doesn't feel quite that way.
Yeah, but I think there's a real conversation we have to talk about division of labor in a large football program. If the guys when a bad play, negative play happens, we lose 2 yards. Like, Luke Fickell doesn't know what plays right. You got to realize what the head coach's job is. Head coach is going back and forth with administration. You're going back and forth with partners. You're going back and forth with your recruiting apparatus. You're going back and forth with looking at finances. You got a calendar you're supposed to follow. And then you sit in on some of the game planning, and I think Luke can manage all those things really well. It's hard to find a football guy that can handle administration like the one at UW well, and he can do that. He can get out in front of the media, and he can say the things he needs to say. He knows football. Given a set of circumstances that gives him a better chance at success, he missed on his offensive coordinator, but I don't mind that he was wrong or that he missed. He took a shot. He's got 2 years. This year is going to be tough. We got a tough schedule. Hopefully there's going to be more rules in play. We can get a big win. I just can't overstate it. Either you get a quarterback that can put points up one way or another, or you don't. And you're going to be in a reasonable offense and you're going to find the matchups you want and be able to take advantage of the bottom of the conference. And in a home game, night game, take out one of the top guys during the year. That's where we're at right now. That's just the reality of it. And there were times we were much closer than people want to talk about it, doing just that. So this year he gets a pass. We're going to see what this offense looks like. I think he can also recruit. The tools are there. He needs – my guess would be he's a little taken aback by the circumstances that he walked into when he finally started to peel the onion. So it's going to take time. It's a big ship, and we got big-time competition of people putting tremendous amounts of money. The biggest risk in college football right now is not that we're going to have a minor league for the NFL. That's already happened. The biggest risk is that there's a two-tiered system in college football where you're recruiting kids, you're developing them, you're paying out of pocket, and as soon as they get good enough, they're going to go to the next echelon of college football. And you don't want to be below the line, be in the farm system for the farm system, because that's where dreams go to die. And that's what we need to avoid.
All right, Derek, before we let you go, again, in the interest of fairness, in the YouTube comments, we got Tim saying, I, too, am disappointed with this surprise. I usually tuned out when he came on. And then on the flip side, from C. Schaub, the outsider. I taught him the ropes of sales when he was just a youngin'. I can verify he knows how to party. Tell him Schabel says hi. So
my old friend Chris Schabel, Marquette alumnus. Chris is also we're in the same business. Yeah, we're in the same business. Here's the thing: when you're on the radio and you're a big time celebrity, you're not going to be for everybody. And
Lord knows
it'll be the guy that it'll be the guy that says he tunes out is the guy that guarantee tunes in the next time whatever that is. Roll in.
Well,
that's a little
6 months or so, most likely.
Well, that's a little better than the deal I was offered the last time, which was the non-compete and non-show up at all. She'll live in infamy. But
well,
no,
Jesse has one last text that expresses the feelings of many.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is incredible. Mike and Madison, I'm going in for cancer surgery in 3 hours. Hearing the Badgers outsider makes my day.
Wow, the healing power of the outsider.
How cool is that?
That is overwhelming to respond to. And I don't know what your situation is, man, but I get the juju, I get the vibes that it's going to go well and you're going to get a positive outcome. So that's great, obviously.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah, powerful stuff.
Mike, when you come out of surgery, Derek Blakesley will be there with some ice chips and some Jell-O. And we wish you nothing but the best in your surgery. Speaking of wishing someone nothing but the best, Derek, I don't know when you'll be on again. Certainly, Tausch takes plenty of days off. So if he can have Orlovsky on when I'm not around, I can certainly have you on when he's not around. We appreciate you, buddy. It was great having you back. You're no Warren Moon, but you're not too shabby, buddy.
Always a pleasure, and I am like everybody else, hoping we make a big run here in the tourney. I'll be available through Twitter on Thursday doing nothing other than watching basketball. So thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it, and I guess see you in 2026. 2026, we're going to make the thing happen.
landing there, Derek.
That's why he's the best.
What am I, Nadia Comaneci here? I mean, I do the best I can.
2-4.
Back 2-2 with Roberson.
Last name Roberson, last name Blakesley.
Little memory lane. All right, that's Inside Pool, everybody. Nobody cares. Hey, have a good rest of the week. Thanks for having me on. Talk to you soon.
That is Derek Blakesley, the Badgers outsider, rejoining us for the first time in a long time. Could not be happier. Jesse, probably not the kind of, oh my God, it's a Pro Football Hall of Famer surprise, but still a really good surprise, and you know how much we love Derek. So
clearly there was a lot of positivity with his appearance. So
no doubt about it.
Glad we could make some people's days by bringing Derek back, and for those of you that didn't enjoy it, sorry.
Well, we wish Mike in Madison nothing but absolute best success with his surgery. We appreciate him sharing that. We are very late for starting the 11 o'clock hour, but Derek is worth it. And it's worth making the switch to Associated Bank as well. Paula and the girls and I made it. Gosh, it's going on a decade now that we made the switch. You should make it too, not just for Packers checking, not just for Badgers checking, not just for Brewers checking. If you want any of those, we don't have any of those. What we do have is the best customer service in the industry. So go check out AssociatedBank.com. Find out more about early pay, where you get access to your direct deposit up to 2 days early. Find out more about credit monitoring and fraud protection. Find out about all the surcharge-free ATMs they have, over 30,000 of those. And find out what makes them special. They are a local bank. It's not branches that make them a local bank, although there are plenty of branches. It's their roots. Their roots are right here in Green Bay. Associated Bank. You've got this. The 11 o'clock hour starts late. We'll see if Tausch is here for it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, this time of year, it feels like every day is a big game day, and you need a winning pizza lineup to celebrate. Pepperoni, sausage and mushrooms, or ham, pineapple, and bacon? Well, the choice is yours. And right now, you get a large, 3-topping original stuffed crust pizza for just $11.99 at Pizza Hut. Available for delivery or carryout, you can create your perfect pizza, no matter the game plan, for just $11.99. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or online at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. ESPN Madison, your radio home of the WIAA Boys Basketball State Tournament. Semifinals Thursday and Friday. All 5 state championship games on Saturday. Catch it all right here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand. Hoops, the big story all week long. Of course, the Boys Basketball State Tournament at the Kohl Center this weekend. Prior to that, the NCAA tournament getting underway. First 4 games tonight in Dayton. The Badgers take to the court Thursday afternoon, 12:30 Central Time. Wisconsin, the 3 seed. Montana, the 14 seed in Denver. Wisconsin, a 17-point favorite for the game, according to ESPN Bet. Plenty more to get you set. The latest bracketology over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Marquette, by the way, also a 7 seed. The 10 seed New Mexico. Marquette, a 4-point favorite, according to ESPN Bet, for their game Friday night, 6:25 tip time. Listen to it on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. At the pro level, the Milwaukee Bucks back in action tonight, visiting the Golden State Warriors. Fun contest. Tip time set for 9 o'clock. Pre-game coverage starts at 8:30 here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Going
11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch.
11 o'clock hour? It's 11:30.
Well, it's 11:18.
Oh, he's back.
Great to have you. And thanks to Derek Blakesley, who was the surprise guest.
The Badgers outsider was a surprise guest?
He was.
Oh.
And we dispelled the myth that you two were not on good terms.
Yeah, why would we not be on good terms?
Because he left the show and he never came
your
back.
buddy and you kicked him out.
I didn't kick him out. That's not my deal. You take that up with a different company, not me.
Who, me?
No.
No, I don't think it's you either.
I think it is what it is. Let's just.
All right, we're happy to have you back. You're going to tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin again momentarily, but first you're going to tell us how'd the speech go?
Went good.
The Q&A go?
So I spoke longer than I probably should have. I always enjoy taking.
Sounds like our show.
More. Yeah, and I didn't interrupt anybody. But the speech was very well received. The questions were good, and I learned something.
Oh, what'd you learn?
Do you know where John Heisman is buried?
Underneath the Monona Terrace Convention Center?
No.
Underneath Giants Stadium in East Rutherford? No, that's
What
Jimmy
would you-
Hoffa.
Is this
What
like a
would you say
punchline
is-
to a joke, or is
No,
this
it's
a real
not.
trivia? Okay.
This is a real trivia question. Again, it's not vetted, so it's just like our own trivia game. Nobody vets anything on our trivia either.
That's coming up next.
Fair.
What would you say is one of my favorite cities in the Northwoods?
Bayside.
It's Bayfield, but
Bayfield,
no.
yeah.
Madeline Island is another one. I love that whole area.
Rhinelander?
Rhinelander. He is buried in Rhinelander.
Jesse looked that up.
I didn't.
Check it out.
No, hog
Yeah,
eggs.
you did. Cheater.
I did not look it up. I don't look anything up around here.
Put up
That's true.
reverse
He doesn't-
cam.
you think
Not
he
that would
researched?
tell us.
You think he researched something?
That's
No,
fair.
there's
That's
no
a
way.
fair point. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it was well received. How did John Heisman's burial plot become part of the discussion?
Great
I
question.
took some photos and shook some hands afterwards, and a guy came up and said, "Hey, do you know where John Heisman's buried?" I said, "No, I don't have a clue." And he goes, "You know who he is, right?" And I said, "Well, I'm assuming
Never heard of him.
I'm assuming it's the Heisman Trophy, dude. I was a voter for the Heisman Trophy for a long time.
Until you weren't.
Until I just decided to stop doing it. It's Johnny Heisman is buried in Rhinelander because he met his second wife, and she is from the Great Northwoods. So whether or not if any of this is true, I don't know. I'm just telling it off
No
of what I've
vetting
been told.
whatsoever.
None, not even a little bit.
Well, we're thrilled that you're back. Just in time for us to play trivia and for you to not participate.
It's Geography Wednesday trivia on a Tuesday. We talk a lot about trivia, don't we, Jason? We also talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service that you get from Pella. But talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do, just like the Heismans loved Rhinelander. Pella's team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the sale. And right now, take advantage of windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends March 31st. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Trivia is Badgers Trivia Tuesday because we have the Badgers Outsider and because we do Wisconsin geography on Wednesdays. Jesse, which caller would you like? I was thinking, November, December, January, February, March. That's been 5 months since I last heard from Derek and even longer since he'd been on the show. So I was thinking caller 5.
5 works great for me. Let's do it.
Caller 5 for trivia, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 5 plays trivia. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. Well, you know what month it is. Make sure your March is filled with busting brackets, not busting the bank with your energy bill. I'm here to tell you can save money and help save the planet with an easy switch to Everlight Solar. Our family is one of many who have made the switch to solar over the last several years. But when we first started, we weren't exactly sure what to do. That's when we met the great team at Everlight Solar, and they outlined the entire process and educated us on the benefits of making the switch. It was super simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2025 Honda Passport EXL for as low as $349 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
The madness is back, and so is your chance at proving your hoops knowledge. It's the ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge, presented by Cousin Subs. Fill out a bracket, earn the most points at the end of the tourney, and get a $1,000 gift card to Cousin Subs. Fill out your bracket on ESPN.com or the ESPN Tournament Challenge app. Just search ESPN Wisconsin and enter the password Cousins, all lowercase. It's the ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge, presented by Cousin Subs. They believe in better.
Summer is coming, and it's time to start thinking about your summer job. Jesse Nelson here. Madison School and Community Recreation is now hiring for many positions, including day camp and youth program leaders, support staff for individuals with disabilities, sports instructors and officials, and more. Full and part-time positions with daytime and evening hours are available. No matter your interest, schedule, or location, there's a position for everyone. At MSCR, you can make an immediate impact in the community and gain meaningful experience. Start your summer adventure today. Apply at mscr.org.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Trivia, and one of the GOATs joins us. The Hall of Fame planning it's kind of like the NFL quarterback carousel. It's on pause at the moment. But this guy's in the conversation. Came to see us at Steinhafels years ago. Always supportive. Is Jerry in the Prairie. Jerry, good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
We are great. We're happy to have you, and we're happy to play some trivia. The category is Badgers Trivia Tuesday. I'm not even going to bother to ask if Tausch has any of the questions. I'll just handle it. Question one is this. What is the name of the venue in Denver where Wisconsin will play in the NCAA men's basketball tournament this week? Is it Ball Arena, the Bat Dome, or the Glove Center?
I'll go with A.
Good choice. We broke down the Milwaukee Brewers logo with that. Ball Arena. Good. Question 2.
The Bat Dome is in Gotham City, I believe.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
That's right.
We got to get the Chippewa Falls.
That's where the Glove Center is.
Wrong button, sorry.
The John Tonje, question 2. John Tonje currently ranks 3rd on the all-time Badgers single-season scoring list, 61 points shy of which Badgers player who holds the all-time single-season scoring record. Is that record holder Devin Harris, Alando Tucker, or Frank Kaminsky?
I think it's Tucker.
I think you're wrong.
I jinxed Jerry.
Frankie. It's got to be Frankie.
Yep.
Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank.
I jinxed him.
Why'd you jinx him?
Off air, I told Jerry I think he's going 3 for 3 on a Badgers Trivia Tuesday.
Way to Tausch him.
Badgers Trivia Tuesday is his category. Like, he owns this thing. He dominates it. I said that you should have a pretty easy time here. I jinxed him.
Who's number 2?
Alando Tucker is number 2.
Oh, okay. Well, close, but not close enough, Jerry. Let's bounce back on question 3, which you now will also get wrong because Jesse jinxed you. The last time Wisconsin played Montana in the opening round of the NCAA tournament was in 2012, and the Badgers advanced to the Sweet 16. Which team defeated the Badgers in the Sweet 16 that season? Was it Baylor, Butler, or Syracuse?
I'm going to go with Butler.
Yeah, you really nailed it. Jesse, what the hell's the matter with you?
Sorry, man. I don't know what was easy about any of those.
Why does Jesse get so much enjoyment out of that?
Because he's a masochist.
No, the fact that I thought he was going to go 3 for 3. I never tell contestants, I think you're going 3 for 3 today. And today I tell Jared he goes 1 for 3 and is maybe his worst showing ever on a Badgers Trivia Tuesday.
Not going to lie, pretty bad. But those were hard. Who the hell knows who they lost to in 2012?
Well, I didn't remember.
No, he doesn't.
No, I thought 2012 they lost to Ole Miss in the opening round, so I got that mixed up. I remember the game. When you give me the 3 options, I remember the game. Syracuse in Boston, low-scoring game. Badgers were in it. Syracuse, I think, was a 1 seed. They were really good that year, but the Badgers' style matched up well with the 2-3 zone of Syracuse. Came down to the wire. Orange hit a shot late to win it.
Well, I'll have you guys know I would have taushed both of the second and third question.
They were easy from what I understand, and the expectation was for you to get them all right.
Real easy.
Jerry, you got 1.
You wouldn't have known Frank Kaminsky has the single-season scoring record? He was the National Player of the Year, Jerry.
I know,
listen
I know.
to Judgy McJudgerson here.
Those other 2 guys scored a lot of points, though.
They did. It's not like you said Chris Conger and Connor Sejan
we're gonna play
as the other option.
Name a random Badger basketball player? We're going to have fun with that.
We can't do that, but we don't have enough time left. We've used up a lot of the program. Jerry, Jesse's jinxing notwithstanding, we appreciate your loyalty to the show. You got 2 entries into the drawing. We wish you good luck, my friend. Thanks.
Thanks. Love you guys.
That is Wilde and Tausch trivia, such that it was. Yeah, that was really something. Tausch, we need you to tell us about Prize Picks again, because we kind of lost you in the ether. And while Jesse and I finished off Run Your Game, I think in fairness to the nice people at Prize Picks, they'd probably like to hear more from you.
Let's do it. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. 10 million members, billions of dollars. Simple to play, more or less, on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. And you got a lot of hoops coming up, and you can parlay. You can play that along with hockey and baseball and esports and much, much more. It is the best place to cash in. Don't miss out on your chance to cash in as the league's best continue to fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today and use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Whoa, Nelly! And another chance to win tickets to Thanalysis Live. So stay tuned. Coming up next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
The madness starts at Metro Kia Madison this month. Drive away in a 2025 Kia Sportage with financing as low as 1.9% for 60 months. $17.48 cost per thousand borrowed. Or upgrade to the luxurious Kia K4 with rates as low as 2.9% for 48 months. $22.09 cost per thousand. With 156 new vehicles available, enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on new vehicles purchased and 90 days deferred payments with approved credit. Hurry, these offers end March 31st.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We're on the Packers.
I just don't feel like Goody hits the home runs that merit holding on to draft picks like they're absolute gold. Because his first-round draft pick isn't gold.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
hopefully better than trivia. Whoa, Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
I actually have a Packers question for Whoa Nelly today.
Have we talked about them today?
Very briefly. Well, I guess no. If you count Aaron Rodgers. Not a Packers, so I guess no.
Didn't talk about any stories on channel3000.com, I noticed.
No. Well, we'll have plenty of time to do so in the coming days. Gardner Minshew joined the Kansas City Chiefs late last week, kind of a lesser-known story, backing up Patrick Mahomes. Cooper Rush is now the backup to Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens. Cooper Rush, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys.
Where did Kurt Benkert end up?
I haven't seen.
Okay.
He's an internet guy.
I've heard that.
He is an internet guy. Might be in the YouTube comments. We good with Malik Willis as QB2 for the Packers?
Yes.
Just want to make sure
Are
we're
you
all
crazy? Of course you are.
I just want to make sure we're all. I just want to make sure we're all set on that. He was great last year.
What you talk about, Willis?
Like for several years going into the preseason, the Tim Boyle conversation and some of the other guys that have been involved in that over the years was a storyline, and that is going to be a non-issue this year.
I don't think this is a bold take. I don't think there's a position on the team that you could be happier with than the backup quarterback spot. What position group do you feel better about? He came out and did everything you wanted when he was called upon last year with literally hardly any prep. You could say Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs, and I'm not going to fight you on it. But I'm saying when you start looking at this big picture, what grouping or position, or if you want to go second team, depth-wise, is there any spot on this team you feel better about than backup quarterback?
It's fair.
Hello?
Maybe
Can someone talk?
Maybe tight end?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions about Musgrave. Chipotle Ben? I don't know.
Hey, don't be dissing number 89.
I'm not Chipotle. I'm not Chipotle. I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying I feel better about Malik Willis than I do about what I'm going to get from Musgrave as a backup or as a second.
We have been guilty of a lot of crowning, a lot of palming on this program in the last 2 years. I think he played really well. Do I want Malik Willis to have to be the Packers starting quarterback for 15 games this season? I do not. I think that he is a top-flight backup, and you can game plan, and he can throw the ball better than people gave him credit for after the debacle of his time in Tennessee. Do I think the Packers can make the playoffs if Jordan Love tears his ACL during training camp? No. I don't think he's quite that good. Is that unfair of me?
7 teams make it.
Yeah, and the Packers made it as the 7th team both times with Jordan Love as their quarterback, who they're paying $55 million.
In fairness, Malik Willis was a critical part of 3 of those wins.
No doubt he was. I agree.
The way that I've thought about backup quarterbacks over the last decade with Aaron Rodgers going down twice.
Have you thought about backup quarterbacks?
Yes, I have.
Okay, all right.
I think we spent more time than we needed to, gave more oxygen to Tim Boyle and Joe Callahan and Brett Hundley and all those conversations.
Sean Clifford.
Until they step in and have to start or play significant parts in half the season when someone goes down with an injury. So my thought is, if Jordan Love misses more than half the season, you're not going to win the Super Bowl anyway. Like, that's just not going to be your year when your starting quarterback misses that many games.
Well, Jeff Hostetler says, no, we can do that.
So
Haas said he could do it.
If you're going to miss...
Nick Foles said no problem.
But Nick Foles took over in that was late November. He took over for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, but he missed half the season.
That's not half. I'm saying if you miss 8 games, can you win 4 as the backup quarterback? And I think Malik Willis easily, you could say.
I've just given you 2 examples, and there's more out there. Washington had another one that they did. So yes, I agree. The sentiment is, if you have to play 5 or 6 games, can you stay afloat, go 3-3, 4-2? And the answer is astonishingly yes. Yes, you can with Malik Willis.
Whoa, Nelly!
Astonishingly.
I meant astoundingly, I think. But
you combined astonishing and astounding, and that's what you got.
I think it's a new word.
Astonishing.
It's a new word.
I like it.
Jesse, before you do the next one, this just reiterates that Brian Gutekunst, when he sees a problem, he doesn't just let that thing fester and you start getting infected. You rip it out and you do something different. He did that with kicker, and he did it with backup quarterback. You don't just let these wounds continue to boo. Yeah, medicate it, move on, get something different. He's done that with both of the big spots that you could make an argument were complete misses by him, whether it was drafting or not picking someone else up. And instead of sitting there and letting that wound fester and you start getting all these different types of infections, the Gutenator could be, you'll have to come up with the moniker, but he's the disinfectant. Let's figure it out. Let's get something new.
The disinfectant.
Whoa, Nelly!
An astonishing analogy. Thanks. Is there anything lamer? I forget if Josh DiMaggio seems like someone who may have shared this take first. Like,
you're saying he's lame?
No. Is there anything lamer than when the government officials get involved in sports the way that the West Virginia governor did yesterday? Standing at a lectern that says National Corrupt Athletic Association in front of it, saying that West Virginia being left out of the first four in lieu of North Carolina was a, quote, miscarriage of justice and robbery at the highest levels.
I'm gonna disagree with both of you. I want a governor and a mayor to be proud of their town and to stick up for what they think is wrong. Now, do I want you spending a ton of time on it when you could get into all of the other issues that we have? No. But if you want to, on the day after, to let it be known to your state and everybody else that you got jobbed, and you want to stand up there and you spend 10 minutes on it and you move on with your life, I want a mayor / governor / whatever to be proud of their state and to vehemently defend when they think there's something wrong that is done on a big scale. Hey man, athletics, you don't have to love it. Athletics is, what did Alvarez always say? It's the doorstep to your university. You want to promote your universities. Stand up when you think you got jobbed. Now, if he's sitting here in 3 months and he's like drafting up legislation and thinking West Virginia should have won a national championship, then I'm going to say you're being an idiot. But for this, on one day after Selection Sunday, and you're letting you know how proud of your town you are, he's proud of his town. I'm good with it.
I'm gonna.
Proud of his town. You know, that's a damn rare thing these days.
I got no problem with him speaking out and giving his opinion. I think when you use hyperbole and that kind of phrase, a robbery at the highest level,
a miscarriage of justice.
I think I would like my politicians to have some semblance of recognition of what really is important and what is just unfair and pisses you off as a fan of West Virginia Mountaineers basketball. I think it's fine that he spoke out. I'm glad he spoke out. But to characterize it with those phrases is melodramatic, and it's searching for headlines. And congratulations, because he made it onto a little show here in Wisconsin. But yeah, I understand.
Welcome to politics. That's the way it goes.
I'm aware of, unfortunately, how politics operates. I am just saying that I still want better, and very rarely do I get that from the political realm.
You should run. I think you should run.
I have thought about that. I don't think I would deal well with people who disagree with me and then would attack me personally. I'm watching these.
Or not?
I'm watching these commercials for the Supreme Court of Wisconsin. It's all negative attack ads. It's just ugly. I don't think I would do. I have enough trouble with the YouTube comments.
You're not really big. You're not really big on the high road, anyways. Get down in the gutter. And
You're
see
good
what you got.
in the gutter. He says.
You're a gutter guy. You like being down there in the gutter. Like, you're a gutter guy.
You know where I like to be? I'd like to be at Thanalysis Live, and I could be there if I am caller number 10. Wait a minute, I'm not eligible. But you could be there if you are caller 10 right now to 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. You will win two tickets to Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis for a live show that is going to entertain fans like none other. Last year, Thanasis surprised his brother Giannis, who, by the way, was also there, with a surprise appearance from ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. You don't even know who's going to be showing up this year. Maybe it'll be the Badgers outsider, who was so well received when he appeared on our show moments ago. If you don't win tickets here on Wilde and Tausch, though, you can still get your tickets to Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live right now. Just visit ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison on their social channels for event and ticket information. Excitement and entertainment you can't get anywhere else. It's Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Carbless, and supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's. Caller number, what caller did I say again, Jesse?
You said 10.
Caller 10 right now.
Oh, God.
That's a long read. I forgot what caller I'd said at the outset.
That's true, yeah.
Caller 10
You're
right
not
now
shorting it any either. I can
wins
tell you that.
2
Gutter
tickets to Thanalysis Live.
We already have them.
Thanalysis Live. 2 tickets courtesy of McDonald's. Caller 10, 844-770.
We literally do already have them.
76.
Congrats, caller 10. We have them on hold.
I'm just reading all the copy here, man.
Oh,
That's
my
all
gosh.
I'm doing. Just trying to do my part. Thank you to McDonald's.
Prize picks, run your game. Oh, no. That's
Potawatomi Hotel and Casino.
Thought we had moved on.
The Prisoner Wine Company and Gruber Law Offices. We'll wrap things up next and find out who caller 10 is when they call, which they already did.
They already are at the theater. No, they're already down at the show. Thanalysis just let them in. Thanalysis said, hey, man, good that you're here.
Brewers baseball is in the air.
It's back, and it is up, and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Spring back into the baseball season on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. It's tourney time. Wisconsin owning the 13th best odds to be bracket champs per ESPN Bet. ESPN analyst Josh Pastner sees Bucky as a solid threat. Pastner backing that up with 4 points during his appearance on The Jump Around.
Number 1, they defend without fouling. Number 2, they don't turn the ball over. Number 3, they are fundamentally sound at everything they do. 4, they make threes, and they make threes at a high clip, and you have perimeter players in Blackwell, Tonje, and Klesmit being able to make those threes.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents The Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
We're on the Bucks.
He's one of those guys that can absolutely dominate. He can activate that MVP mode.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And you know when Giannis is right, he can carry his team across the finish line.
Madison's home of the Bucks. 100.5 ESPN.
Tausch, before you go on an extended sabbatical, you should tell us one more time about Coors Light before we forget.
Oh, you know, I'll have a couple Coors Lights on my little mini break. Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it is made to chill. And we're going to be out in Denver watching that old ball game with the Wisconsin Badgers. You're going to be in the Rocky Mountains. That's where Coors Light is born. In 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp. It's only 102 calories. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Matt Coonan via Twitter. If someone came up to me, shook my hand, and asked if I knew where John Heisman was buried, I think I'd call the police.
That is really well done.
You obviously interact with a lot of people. Do you get that a lot? Not the specifics of John Heisman, but the randomness of things people open with you?
Yeah, it was an odd one, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, the easiest way now for me to kind of turn my head is a lot of fans of the show here at the Monona Terrace. That's where I still am.
Whoa,
and
what?
this was a unique,
Let the cat out of the bag there.
One. But well, you said it earlier, and I learned something, and I'm always interested. Teach me something. The fact that John Heisman potentially, again, we haven't fact checked it, is buried in Rhinelander. Next time I'm up in Hodag country, I'm going to go look for that grave.
We will talk to you again on the final day.
You're not going to do
March.
that. You're not going to go.
If I go back up
when you're in Hodag country,
maybe.
You are not going to say, "Okay, kids, let's go
like
scour
fishing.
the graveyard and find
That's
Heisman."
true. I do like fishing and the seafood boils and all that stuff. So you're probably right. But if I run into it, I will take a picture of it.
We can't wait, and you'll have a thumbs up in it, I'm sure. Tausch,
amen.
Safe travels to wherever you're going. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
That is Mark Tauscher, the star of this program. He will return, but we've got a cavalcade of Great Cousin subs lined up, or at least a few of them lined up as Jesse works on that. We'll see who joins us. We'll find out together in the coming days and weeks. That's it for us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
ESPN